それが夜明け前のものであるなら少しだけ微笑ましい。何一つ形のない人のいない海だとしても。
それが君の心のあり方なんだね。何もないことが君の形だった。
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the finals of Turf Wars, a Rogues Gallery event. My name is Father. Today, coming to you straight from the observatory, it's Keen, our observer, and my fellow co-caster today is Jaeyun. How are you doing, man?
Doing well. Really excited to see this finals match. I mean, I think these were the two strongest teams going into the events. And honestly, both of them are pretty stacked, so I'm pretty excited for what we can do today.
Yeah, you're forcing us to bite our ego a little bit, but you're right. There are definitely some strong teams coming into it. It's funny that they got two of the losers from the other teams to come in and cast this final match. But I mean, what else? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. You know, we can make ourselves feel better by feeling included in the finals. But
yeah, they reached out, extended the olive branch, said we can come to the finals as a caster. That's close enough for us.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. By the way, is this your first casting with us?
It is. I mean, I've done some random casting here and there, but for Rogues Gallery, it's going to be my first time. So
well,
super excited.
Welcome to the gallery.
Yeah.
You got your own portrait, so you already feel like a member of the family. I mean,
yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, excited for the matchups today. I was told there's going to be 2 Terran games, but one of them is the 2v2. So I'll only have knowledge about one of these games today, but you're more than going to make up for the rest of that, right, Jaeyun? You've been off racing as Protoss a lot lately, so you got the other 2 covered.
Hopefully. I mean, the interesting thing about this is we potentially might not even see all the games, right? Because
it's going to be a best of 7.
Yeah. Right.
So
whoever gets 4.
Yeah, and we're playing it all live also. So all these matches are playing live, one after the other. Some players may not even end up playing tonight if it ends up being a 4-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really hope it goes to the ace match. I think that'd be a fitting way to finish up this tournament. 2 of the strongest teams coming into it, going to game 7. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, I think I think because there's such good teams on both sides, or good players on both sides. Like I don't think it all ends like in 4 or 5. I'm pretty sure we'll at least get the 6 and then the ace. I don't even know who they'll send out for the ace, right? Probably across from Cabal, but
there's
Dragon
a lot
or Boa,
of strong
right?
players. There's so many strong players that it's hard to say. Dragon or Boa both would be really good plays for the Clown Killers. And yeah, Crossy would probably be the most obvious pick, but I mean, Stryker has really strong builds. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he prepared something. Could see an interesting snipe like that. We have the bracket up here for you guys. You can see how the teams matched up against each other each week. Just 4 teams doing a really quick team league like this. I really liked how the format worked out, actually. I was a little bit apprehensive about it being so quick like this, but I mean, it didn't draw on like a lot of the team leagues do, I feel like. We got it kind of short and sweet. Got to see some really exciting matchups, and we're already here at the finals, so I think it's been going well.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I think it felt like yesterday when it was just like that whole that draft where we're just talking smack and stuff. So it's actually quite nice. Like it's I think it's a good length. It also just spanned just over a month and stuff, right? So it's not too long, not too short, so it's the right length.
Yeah, definitely solid. And this is just our first go at it, so we think we learned a lot as a team from this experience, and we're going to put on some awesome tournament series going on to the future, but we can't talk about the future too quickly yet because we have one more match in this finals to go. I'm really excited about this. Talking about a couple of the matchups that I'm looking forward to. I mean, honestly, all of these look super even.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single one where people that I've talked to, I've been trying to get some people's thoughts going into this match, and I don't think I've heard anyone call any of the matches super conclusively one way or another, which really just goes to show you how closely matched these teams are. Both of them, some of the strongest players from NA.
Right. Yeah. What do you think about? Maybe we just kind of go down the list and do some pregame predictions. What do you think about Cross and Tim?
Man, that's going to be an exciting matchup. Cross has just been absolutely killing it on ladder lately. Tim was on a hiatus for a little bit, but he's been back for the last couple months practicing a decent amount. So he's in good shape. And I mean, he's always a dangerous player. He has such a solid style as a Protoss player, which, I mean, memes aside, it's a rare thing to see someone be so dedicated to playing such a solid style in all of his matchups. So I think that's going to be a little bit difficult for Cross to deal with stylistically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the thing that kind of like comes to memory for both these players is they both improved really fast. You know, I think most people know about like Tim because there was like that whole, you know, Team Liquid. You know, he came from CPL.
Oh, right, he had that interview. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I mean, he got to like S rank pretty
article.
fast. Right, really strong player, really smart guy, but also from Cross too. Like I remember, like it wasn't that long ago, maybe a year ago, before he kind of joined the NA scene, where you know, like myself and a few other NA gatekeepers were like seeing this Cross on ladder. We're like, dude, there's like this chatty Canadian Zerg who keeps like saying he's the best, and he was like. Kid? He was like 1900, man. Like, and he was like this cheesy 1900 player, and like, you know, unless it's someone else, but I'm like 99% sure it was him. But really, like but he got so good so fast, right? Like he used to be, you know, like maybe like a mid-rank A player, and he constantly watches like the Korean streams. He's always like playing the right way. He's always playing the meta. He's always practicing his micro super sharp. Yeah. But, you know, both of these players are super strong, like you said, and Tim plays a very aggressive style, and it's a best of one, so I wouldn't be surprised if Tim takes the game off Cross here.
And it's also Eclipse, a two-player map. What do you think about that for this map in particular?
I think, you know, Cross is extremely good at, you know, controlling his units in the early to mid game. So it's really going to come down to that, right? Yeah. If Crossy can get a couple of those early kills, I'm pretty sure Tim's going to open maybe a gate expand. And I think Tim plays a really good aggressive style. I think he really likes to go for kind of like hitting with that Zealot High Templar timing, you know, kind of in between that, you know, zone where Zerg is trying to decide if they want to mute a switch or something. So we'll see if Tim can really pull it off. You know, maybe both of them might be feeling a bit of nerves. I don't know if Tim performs well under pressure, because this is a live event, guys. This is not replays. So
yeah, it's live. It's the finals, and there's actually a decent amount of cash on the line. The NA scene has been, I mean, and the worldwide scene has been very generous in showing their support for this tournament. Just a quick reminder, if anyone's watching and is interested, we are offering the full replay pack of every single game that's been played during this event on our donation page. I think we can drop a link to that in chat. So yeah, go check out the Matcherino, and there is a reward to get all of the replays from this whole event. There's been a bunch of awesome games, so if you want them for yourself to show your friends, why not chip in? But yeah, I think you're right. There's going to be a lot of nerves going into this event. I mean, it's game one also, best of one, game one. It's live. Everybody's watching. The whole team is waiting. It's gonna set the tone for the rest of the series, game one. So, yeah, I wonder how the players are going to perform under pressure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think you know, I feel like this lineup might. I guess like the order might slightly favor the Cabal, because, you know, Cross and Stryker are going up first. But at the same time, on the other side, you do have Dragon and Tim. Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. But I think we're almost ready to get into our first game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, man, I'm looking forward to this. I like Tim's new screen name also. We'll get into that momentarily, though. Yeah, Duo Max.
That's interesting, man.
All right, in the bottom left, red Protoss player Duo Maxwell, also known as Tim. Oh. We're going to have to do a rematch.
Oh, what happened?
That's all right. We'll get back into this momentarily. I didn't know what happened, though. I saw like some drones not being able to be split, and then a question mark from Crossy. Trying to put the pieces together.
Maybe he messed up his split, and he just wanted to, you know.
Yeah.
Is that legal, dude? I mean, dude, can we get an admin in here? That sounds kind of sketch, dude. I mean, just because you didn't get a good... Oh, Tim is claiming victory, man.
Yeah, that's all right. This is the Rogues Gallery. We get to decide how it goes down here.
Yeah.
All right, getting back into it. Regame, mulligan, round 2. All right. Bottom left, red Protoss. It is Tim.
And in the top right, we have the blue Zerg as Cross.
What do you think about these spawns? How does it play out in PvZ? Because I know in the Terran matchups, it's actually a little bit important which spawns.
Yeah. You know, I mean, usually Zergs like to spawn on the right side because you know you can get a little bit of that mineral boosting on a couple of those patches, or maybe one or two. I don't know on Eclipse. I'm not the you know mineral boosting expert here, but it's also nice. And I think the bottom left is a little bit sketchy for Zergs going hatchery first. You know, if you guys remember last time, I went hatchery first in the ace match against Dragon, and then I got that the cannon rush.
That nasty cannon rush.
Yeah, it's nasty over there. So I think the top right definitely favors Zergs, very slightly. I don't want to say it's like a huge deal, but Crossy is definitely one of those people who's going to be abusing those mineral boosting stuff.
Yeah. We see the probe go lay the pylon and go back to the main base instead of going to scout.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a 10 gate. So that's what Tim likes to do. He loves putting on that pressure. I think he's going to really try to see if he can get something done. I think it's really strong on his map as well. But Crossy's micro's really good, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Tim does like to play that aggressive zealot style, kind of like TT1 does, where he focuses heavily on that multitask, but has such a strong follow-up.
Yeah, and I think a lot of good Protoss are ones that like really don't let Zergs kind of sit in macro, right? Like you look at a guy like Boa, you look at TT1, and Tim. I think he loves playing that kind of style. He loves just being aggressive and whatnot. So we got the probe coming in. He's probably he should know that there's an overpull from the drone timings, but technically you're not always sure. But doing a pretty good job of just denying the hatchery.
Yeah, at the same time though, Crossy doing pretty solid with the drone micro, zoning out the probe, and just when he has enough minerals, zones it out so he can go lay the hatchery. So good work by Crossy.
Yeah, oh my god,
some solid moving shots too. So already down to 9 HP. Not what you want with your early probe like this.
Yeah, the probe is actually really important with Gateway Expand because it just adds that extra little punch. That's what I'm talking about. It's almost there.
Oh my god, Tim, that was actually. Oh, dude, Tim is a legend. I cannot believe you saved that. But I mean, even still, this is such a dire situation, and that Crossy is just chomping at the bit, wanting to all in here. You know what kind of player Crossy is. If he sees that advantage, he's totally going to go for it. So I'd be careful if I was Tim. He knows he's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough because he doesn't technically know how many Lings are out on the map because his probe went back. But so he's going to have to play defensive. I think that's the right choice here. He's going to sit back at home, make that forge, and try to defend. And I think Crossy's going to try to punch down that gateway and see what he can get done.
Yeah, but nice move by Tim, kind of dodging out with that probe, and it looks like he was gonna scout the third, but maybe not.
Yeah, really,
be careful with that zealot.
It's being patient, so far so good. But yeah, you don't want to give those Lings too many shots there, because if you lose that gateway, it's game over.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. But Probe rescouts the main base, should realize that there's another third hatchery out on the map somewhere. Scouts the gas timing as well, but man, this dance between the gonna catch a zealot. Let's go to the main base though, and it's 6 Lings in the main base. That's no good.
Ouch! Yeah, that's Crossy Lings in the main base. That is not what you want. So let's see if Tim can recover from this. I mean, I don't like making a cannon here, but that's a lot of Lings, and it's also hard to really multitask and to scout what's going on in Crossy's base, and you really need to know if
it looks like he lost the probe too.
Yeah, he doesn't know if it's going to be a Hydra follow-up, so this is just a really bad spot for Tim.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw some sort of Hydra all-in come in from Cross. I mean, he hasn't done a huge amount of damage yet, but just these Zerglings being in the main base is such a nuisance. Like you said, it makes it so hard for Tim to execute his build properly. He has to multitask constantly dealing with these Lings, chasing them around. So all his timings are going to be hurt by that. Losing another pellet.
Ouch.
It's just snowballing at this point.
Yeah, I think Crossy's just going to take his advantage, and he's not going to go for, some crazy Ling all-in. I think that's a smart idea.
Respectable move, for sure.
Right.
Oh, another probe goes down. Great job by Crossy.
Yeah, this is looking pretty rough. I mean, I think Crossy definitely likes going Hydras, but it looks like he is going to go Lair, and I think that's also a fine choice, given that he wasn't slowed down at all by this gateway opening.
Yeah. And now he's splitting up his Lings. Having this number... Oh, actually, one of them gets sniped by a nice drill from Tim. Looks like he... Oh, we almost got both Lings, actually.
Yeah.
Another probe going down.
Oh, pretty good there.
He misclicked for a second, but it didn't matter, so...
Yeah, not too bad. So it looks like the Lings were able to, you know, be dealt with, and I think Tim's gonna.
You really got to commend Tim for dealing with that as well as he did. I mean, obviously he took massive damage to it, but how could you not 6 Lings in your base that early when you only have 2 Zealots? It's a complete disaster. So he did a solid job multitasking and keeping up with his Lings, and his build isn't massively delayed, but he has been losing probes here and there, so definitely taking a small disadvantage going into the mid game.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's he's definitely behind because he lost like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 4 probes, 5 probes.
I think 4 or 5 sounds right.
Yeah, I don't love the Zealot move out because usually you want to have 5 with the. Okay, it's gonna move back. So maybe he was just trying to force the Lings, but you really want to conserve your Zealots here unless you have enough to really force Lings to be made from your opponent. But Cross is in such a good economic position that I don't think it's good to throw your Zealots away here.
Yeah, it's basically all we have going for us at this point is the Zealot count we've been building up. But we also have a cannon in the main base, so Tim has the foresight to realize that the Spire option or the Spire move was an option. So he's keeping a good track of the tempo of the game, which is something that's important when things start to get scrappy like that. Making sure you know exactly where your opponent is at all times is one of the hardest parts of the game. So he's definitely keeping up with that effectively.
Yeah, and he's also got the second cannon up front. I mean, it's unfortunately in this game it's going to be negative EV just because he's not facing a Hydra bus, but it's a good decision. Right. It's a respectable decision because he didn't know if he was going for a 3-edge Hydra. So you kind of have to play extra safe and waste that money. But I wonder if Cross is actually going to open Mutas here. I didn't catch the build, but if he does, that could be a really strong opening.
Yeah, definitely agreed. And like I said earlier, Crossy has a reputation for going all in at just the drop of a hat. So that reputation really helped him out here when he's just deciding to go for more of a tech play. Tim forced to make that second cannon, which when he's already lost so many probes like that is such a hard investment to make. But like you said, it is a respectable move.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like it's not going to be Mutas, and it's just going to be Scourge, and he's droning like crazy. This is more drones than normal. And so this is going to be really rough for Tim to stop. And he's got that 6th hatchery super fast. So let's see what Tim can get done if he can go for a timing.
But yeah, like you said, I mean, 6 hatchery Hydra with this number of drones powering off 3 base. I mean, he's going to have an overwhelming number of Hydras. And it's really going to be hard for Tim to ever take a 3rd base, which kind of seems like the next step for him here. I have a hard time seeing him do enough damage with a 2 base all in, but that might be his only option at some point here.
Yeah, that he either has to play a long game and maybe go for a double expand, but I think Tim likes to go for that punch. He's going to move out here. I don't know how much damage he's going to get done, but I like Tim's decision to go for a faster Templar Archives, go into that tech, wait for the High Templars, don't throw the Zealots away, because I think he knows he's behind. So really good decision making from Tim, but Crossy's economy is just booming. Yeah,
and if he wants to, he can just go non-stop Hydras here off 6 hatchery. I mean, that's just so much larva. So really going to be an overwhelming amount of Hydralists to deal with.
Yeah, here it comes. I mean, it's the Crossy Hydras, man. He loves to dance. His Hydra micro is extremely good. So I'm a little worried for Tim. Like, once Tim's going to try to move out with that Zealot High Templar, but, Crossy's going to be there to snipe the High Templar just all game. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
That mid to late game PVZ army control really is a beautiful dance, trying to snipe those Templar nonstop, dodging them, trying to storm properly, dodge the storms. I mean, there's so much micro involved that the fact that Crossy's so good at it just makes such a big impact as we get into the late game here.
Yeah, let's see. I wonder if
Tim sneak out.
Ooh, is he gonna die?
Almost.
It looks like Tim's going to skimp on Corsairs. I actually kind of like this move. I think he's going to stop at 3 Corsairs and not get... Oh, does he have +1? I don't know. Or is that a Cybernetics core spinning for the dream? I'm pretty sure it's a Goon. Goon spinning, Goon range. Protoss likes to go sometimes for like these 3 Corsairs so that it's just enough to not trigger a Muta switch, but you get to use the additional minerals for like a bigger ground army. So it looks like he is winding up for a really big 2-base push, and
Tim does have to make cuts somewhere. He has to take shortcuts somewhere, or else he's just going to fall so far behind that it won't ever matter. Big Storm grazes a lot of those Hydralists. The second one not as much, but the first one was quite good.
Yeah, did he get... How many High Templars did he get? It only looks like we have 2 High Templar from Tim here.
Yeah, trying to snipe another one gets pushed off for now. Oh, So trades in the meantime, but a fourth hatch or a fourth base going up for Crossy.
Yeah, well, it looks like Tim. Yeah, Tim. Either I don't know. He usually likes to hit like at this 10-minute mark, and he might just actually move out. I don't know if he has observers, but it's going to be a little bit rough with only 2 High Templar. You do want at least 4 High Templar here, but he might be going for a third base, so maybe he's going to push us to the late game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did try to salvage it with a late game play like that. Oh, he's going to lose another High Templar. And just it's going to be so hard to make a push work right now with only, I mean, what, 1 High Templar at this point? Crossy might even be able to just trade so effectively here that he's not even able to secure a third base. There's another High Templar without energy, and man, this is looking bad for Tim.
Well, you know, he's getting a lot of value with those Zealots. I don't know if I love this aggressive play from Cross here. I mean, if he just backed up, but he does have to
get that lurker positioning, and he gets them burrowed. So, man, this is interesting. Tim's taking a lot of damage from the lurkers and is forced to back up, but like you said, he traded just about as effectively as he could have there, given how few High Templar he had. Those Zealots were really making it work.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think Cross maybe he kind of overestimated his position there. He's kind of going for that chokehold to contain Protoss, but I think he lost too many Hydras. I mean, those Zealots got a lot of value, and the Observer's going to come out, and I think Cross should back up. I don't know if he should.
He's trying to go for it, though. He doesn't think he's right at all. He gets a goon snipe, which is nice. Oh, Zealot snipe.
Yeah, pretty decent storms, and he's going to get third base. So actually, you know, Tim's doing a really great job here. I mean, he's secured that third base. Oh, I don't know. Actually, I just said that.
Like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess Tim's got to protect those Dragoons, and he only has 2 storms.
Oh, and Crossy thinks he can get even better position with these lurkers here, and he's right for now. Forced to back off is Tim, and more Hydras coming across the map.
Yeah, that observers are so late. I mean, like, he's allowing Crossy to just get some position in here, and I don't know if he has storms, but Crossy's coming in from both sides. Let's see.
Yeah, this is a huge surround. Plus, the lurker is going to be doing a ton of DPS, and with just no storms, I mean, neither of the Templar have storm, and man, Tim's going to get pushed back to his choke at the very least, and I think Crossy realizes the third is going up too, so that will be dealt with quickly, I'd assume. But
yeah, where is this observer, man? I've been
waiting so long for it. It took longer than my mouse to get here.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I got that nice storm.
Big storm though, big storm.
Yeah,
we're losing the Templar too, though. Oh man, Crossy's been so effective with the Hydra micro, just never letting Tim get off with anything for free. I mean, no free meals for Tim. Every Templar that's out of position is getting sniped immediately. And as I say that, another one, it's about to go down.
Now, you know, if Tim can hold this third base and maybe just power up on 3 bases, there is a world when he comes back. It looks like he does have the cannons on the high ground, so as long as he just does... Oh, and he gets the probes to transfer. At least he loses a fair amount, but he gets a decent of them. So, you know, Protoss on 3 base is really strong, and you don't want to be containing... Yeah, you don't want to contain a Protoss that's on 3 base, usually unless you're really ahead, but... Oh, there's the Observer, finally!
Finally getting here. A lot of goons shooting at Lurker eggs, though, so the DPS of Tim's army, it wasn't as good as it was. Nice! Oh, we finally get the Observer here, and then immediately just get sniped by Crossy. I mean, just absolutely brutal Hydra micro.
Yeah, this is getting rough. I mean, Crossy's already saturated his 4th base. He's looking good. So the beauty of this kind of trading with Hydras is that at any point in time, Crossy can actually just back up, defend, go to 5 bases, and go straight to Hive if he wanted. But I think he's going to continue putting on the pressure. He loves to fight. His micro's really good. So he's going to move in here, and Tim cannot be beating units. Yeah, he's got to back up, and he's just got to wait for that big ball because he does have 3. He's got 3 bases here.
Oh, another one. Oh, dude, this is so unfortunate. I mean, Cross is just absolutely relentless with his Hydra micro, never letting a single opportunity go by.
Yeah, those lurkers are getting some amazing value, and he's probably +1 carapace on the way. So, you know, he shouldn't be moving out like this in just small pieces. I think he's like almost barely kind of doing it, but you know, Crossy's micro and his multitask really showing there. It looks like he's actually going to go ahead and take a 5th base as well.
Yeah, the top left too, which is quite good. It's going to put a serious timer on Tim if he can't do anything about that top left base. I mean, the double gas is just going to become overwhelming as Crossy moves into Hive Tech.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. I mean, he's going to move out again. I don't love the move out because there's like, he doesn't have critical mass to really do too much. I mean, I guess he might get some storms, but you know, you really want to wait.
The fact that he had to morph the Archon there is unfortunate because he's either going to have to take a fight or just sacrifice it, which, I mean, 2 of your Templar, you can't be given away like that.
Yeah, I mean, he does have the 3 bases. I mean, a 3
Yeah.
gas as well. So I think if he just masses up the goons and, Protoss always has a puncher's chance. If he just
Right.
masses up to 150 or something and just prays and connects with storms, he could still win this game. Like, I mean, that's
Totally.
Protoss, man.
Yeah,
Protoss
I
can
mean,
always do it.
Crossy's doing a great job keeping the third base separated, but he's not actually able to pick it off. He can isolate it, but I mean, until he has Darkstorm, most likely that third base just isn't going to be assailable. So but at the same time, I mean, Tim has held on to it. So like you said, he really does have that puncher's chance once he gets critical mass with this army, but it's going to be such a hard time moving it out from this natural choke.
Yeah,
look
I mean,
at
this
this
is getting
concave.
rough. I mean, he's gonna go for this nonstop contain. I mean, it's gonna be tough, but we'll see. I mean, Tim is pretty good with busting out of these contains, and so it's all gonna come down to Storm. Storm's a great equalizer. If he gets some great storms in, and he could maybe do it. So let's see what he can get done.
Tim just biding his time, being very patient here. I mean, you have to imagine he's under so much pressure right now, and the fact that he isn't just moving out before he's ready is a good sign.
Yeah, it's
still
definitely
only
a
on
good
those
sign.
1-1 upgrades. I mean, man, that's such a killer.
Yeah, usually he does like going for the double forge, but I think his build was definitely a little bit screwed up earlier just because of the early lings. But he's playing. I love that cannon on the high ground.
Yeah, that's actually super cute. I'm surprised it's not ranging that lurker.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that contain's getting really nasty. So he might start to push out. He's got to be
Looks like
very
he's about
patient.
ready.
Yeah, he shouldn't be moving out the zealots. I think he should slowly push out with the goons. He's getting some
huge storm actually.
Oh, can he bust out?
Holy, that was another. Dude, these storms are actually massive.
Oh my god, Protoss is pretty good. But does he have enough storms? Does he have enough storms?
Oh, it looks like he's just barely not at critical mass, but man, those storms are so killer. But Crossy was just the overwhelming macro. I mean, you have to really hand it to him. He played his ass off this game. Both micro and macro really just showed us the power of the swarm, as it were.
This is really, I mean, I guess Tim might try for another punch. I mean, it's going to be really tough once you lose all that, but
I mean, look at that Hydra count.
There's just too many. Yeah, this is going to be
not much
really
you can do.
Looks like he's just going to go for it. I mean, there's no more storms. Okay, there's a GG. So Cross takes it.
Congratulations to Crossy. He played really well that game. I mean, that's about as strong a performance as I've seen from Crossy in that matchup. I mean, Tim is an extremely strong player, and he really just had his number at every opportunity, at every turn.
Yeah, I mean, Tim played really well. You got to hand it to him. I mean, he played a solid game. He stayed calm under pressure with 6 Crossy lings in your base. You don't want that. I mean, I've played Crossy, and sometimes I just leave when six lings get in my base, man. Like, I don't want that to happen. But he played well. He got some good trades off. I think he just got a little too hasty. Maybe if he gathered earlier with the 3 bases, wait until 150 plus and then move out. Maybe he gets there with 6 High Templar and Storms. But overall impressive. But no shame losing to a guy like Crossy.
Yeah, definitely a strong showing from Tim as well.
Yeah.
Game number 2 is going to be... Oh, this is a good one. It's going to be Stryker versus Dragon on Sylphid.
Yo, my goodness. This is going to be really good. I mean, they played in the Captain's King of the Hill on Sylphid, and Stryker was in an amazing spot to win that game, and Dragon got this Dark Templar drop in the main base, killed 15 plus drones, and Stryker completely threw it. So I think Stryker's out for blood, man.
Yeah, I think he wants his revenge, and I think this would be the perfect time to do it. If he could get that 2-0 lead going already, I mean, that would be so huge for his team. He would just have to sit back and watch. I think he can do it, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Stryker is, I've probably played Stryker 10 million times, so much. So I know Stryker very well. But, Stryker is one of those guys who, mechanically, his knowledge, build order, he's right up there with the, top foreigners, to be very honest with you. He's very good. I think that he just gets a little bit nervous sometimes. And so during kind of these bigger games, he starts to kind of make these small mistakes, and he starts, kind of slipping up a little bit. So I think he's got to work on that mental game. But I think once he develops that mental fortitude, I think he's going to be really good. So maybe he can show some of that here in this game against Dragon.
Yeah, that's one of the big things about StarCraft is that there's such a huge the tournament entry barriers. There's such a huge gatekeeping presence to playing in the tournament. I mean, you will play at such a small fraction of what you're capable of for the first several times. I feel like, I mean, just time after time, you're going to get absolutely slammed playing what you feel like is not nearly your best. So a lot of these up and comers in NA were kind of waiting for their breakout performances here. And this, I mean, Stryker, this wouldn't be his breakout necessarily. I mean, he's already shown quite good results in NASL, things like that. But I think, like you're saying, his nerves are holding him back a little bit from playing at his full potential. And I think if he keeps playing in these tournaments, eventually we're going to see him at 100%, and that's going to be a scary sight to behold.
Yeah, he's a very strong player, and on the other side we do have Dragon, and he's a very seasoned guy. I mean, what
can you say about Dragon?
I know he's just like old man Drag. He's so seasoned. He's seen it all. I mean, he's played Tai 2 enough times that nothing surprised him. So we know what to say. Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing that Stryker's going to do that he hasn't seen before from Tai 2. So
right.
Yeah, definitely a mainstay of the NA community. I've heard about him ever since I joined.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been kind of like that, that solid player. I mean, he's kind of like more in the shadows a little bit just because he, doesn't stream. He's not kind of like a outward kind of guy. He's not like active on, Discord outside of his clan Discord and whatnot, but he's consistently always been at the top of the NA scene. Some people kind of forget that he's even there, but he's always been very good, and his PVC is always super solid, and it's hard to really emulate a guy like Dragon because there's nothing. It's hard. I don't know. He's so solid, and that's what makes him special. It's like he's just so good at his control. His decision making is impeccable. He's so careful with his army, so when he pushes, it's really difficult.
Yep. One of the upsides of doing. Oh, it looks like we got it. We got some friends coming in here that don't belong. One of the upsides of doing these live games is we do have to track down all these NA players, and I mean, you say what you can about NA players, but they're not always known for their punctuality necessarily.
I think every region struggles with that.
Yeah, it might just be a Brood War thing. It's understandable.
Yeah, it's tough, man. We're gathering 12 players for a single live event for games that they might not even play. So
that's the thing.
It's tough.
Some of the players are sitting on the bench wondering if they're even going to have a chance to play, and it's gonna be a couple hours before they start playing. So I wonder how that's going to actually impact those players if they're sitting there kind of nervous the whole time, waiting and watching.
Yeah, I think it's No, I think it's super fun too, right? You're just like watching your team live, right? Because it's like all these other ones have been replay casted, so it's kind of like you already know the results, you know what I mean? But we see from Keen's message, but it looks like Drag might be stuck in a game somewhere. So
yeah, I mean, there's a big team show match on the line, hundreds of dollars on the line, but these ladder points, we're not letting him go cheap.
Oh, dude, I mean, he's you can't race pick on ladder, and he plays DVP.
He's every MMR he can get.
I know, he's like, whoa, this is a PVZ. This is a PVZ. I gotta play this one.
Yeah. All right, but we finally tracked him down. We dragged him in here. We're about to get ready for Neil Sylphid Stryker versus Dragon.
Yeah,
looking forward to this one.
It's got captain versus captain.
Oh yeah, that's a good point actually. All right. Good luck, have fun exchange by the players, and we have up in the 12 o'clock spawn we have the Olive Protoss player. Is that Olive? I think it's Dragon.
In the 9 o'clock position, we got the Magenta Stryker.
Yes, Magenta. I have to remember every single one of these colors because they have some kind of obscure names. Like we have olive, we have light yellow, and also just regular yellow. I mean,
yeah, the pale, yeah. It's I don't know. Dragon's color is like poo color, and the hot pink one. I mean, that's like Terror's.
That's pretty. Color. Yeah, that is Terror's color actually. He
loves going hot pink, and I guess Stryker's feeling a little little out there today. So let's see if he can play like it too.
Yeah, it's funny. I never associate Terran with hot pink. Like those two concepts don't come together to me in my mind. But I like that Terran rocks with it.
Yeah, he's really good, so he can pull it off. So. All right, so let's see what Dragon's going to open. I mean, he's been going Gateway Expand a lot in recent games that I've seen, but he can play both styles, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to go Gateway or Forge, but he's really good with both. Dragon is really strong, especially with Forge Fast Expand too, because his build order is impeccable, his control is really strong. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just wants to play it safe and goes Forge here.
Yeah, it seems like people have been shying away from Forge quite a bit lately, at least compared to previous years. It seems like a lot of Protoss players have the gateway expand mapped out a lot better and have been shying away from Forge. I remember I briefly was playing Zerg off Race Home Ladder, and I think it was like every single Zerg vs Protoss I played, Protoss was opening gateway expand. I never saw Forge.
Yeah, oh my goodness. We're going to have an 11 hatch versus a 12... Oh, no, we don't. Okay.
Wow.
I thought it was a 12 next. I never thought, because Dragon doesn't like high variance play. He hates losing to, like some Ling run by. So I was very surprised. I thought we were going to see a 12 Nexus there, but it's going to be a 12-13-13 from Dragon. He's scouted for the Overlord pathing and going straight to 9 o'clock, so really solid build order, and I think we're going to have a good long macro game here.
A very classic build order.
Yeah, and this is going to stop, he got the cannon, and sometimes you can actually wait until you scout the hatchery first, because you can get the gateway first, but, he got the cannon, and he's going to make the gateway, and he's going to be just fine.
Yeah. Shows you how ultra solid he's deciding to play. I mean, it might tell you a little bit about his thoughts on Stryker as a player if he thinks that he doesn't need to cut corners to play against him. It might be I might be reading a little bit too much into it. He might just be that kind of player in general. But I mean, the thing about these NA clan wars is that these players do know each other. They have some experience with each other, and if nothing else, they're aware of each other. So they know kind of what the story is on their opponents for the most part.
Yeah, I think Dragon, it definitely, just knowing Dragon, he knows he's the top dog here, and he's not taking any chances. I mean, even his kind of, I've never actually seen that SimCity from Protoss, or where he has that gateway a little bit further down, and I think it's supposed to be kind of like an anti-Hydra type thing, because he did deal with a 973 opening from Stryker in the the King of the Hill match. So it just provides that little bit of space so that you could just kind of buffer for the Hydras, and you can fit some more cannons behind there. So I think he just wants to make sure he doesn't die to that. He doesn't care if he actually loses the gateway either.
Yeah. Interesting.
So we're gonna move into the Cybercore here really fast from Dragon. So I wonder if
pick up quickly.
Yeah, I think I wonder if Stryker's going to open Spire with this layer, or if he's going to open Hydra. Sometimes if the Protoss gets like a really fast Corsair, and usually with an 11 Nexus, you really want the Hydra opening instead of the Spire opening, because you'll lose too many Overlords. You see the Stargate already started, and I think there's still some time on the layer to finish. So
yeah, it's going to be cutting it close for sure, but Stryker does have an awareness of this. He's been in this situation before.
Yeah, so let's see what he does. He's got to move those Overlords away. He's going to keep that Overlord inside of Drag's main. I know Stryker loves doing this to really get a good scout off on the Protoss. I think I always say that it's because of me, because I have all these clown builds where I hide Citadels and I hide second Stargates in the natural and stuff. So, but it's good. I mean, like sometimes you play a clown toss that just throws up gateways, cancel the Stargate, but Dragon's not going to do that. So I feel like against a guy like Dragon, you can kind of know what to expect.
Yeah, both players showing a little hesitation to cut corners when they're presented the opportunity, which is interesting. Yeah.
So it looks like the Stargate's already on the way, and man, he is going for that Spire build. So yeah. But one of the ways that you can tell if you're playing a donk Protoss or not is when they send the Corsair to kill that first Overlord before scouting. So just watch how Dragon's gonna fly past the Overlord, because he's not a donk. Well, actually, never mind. There's a probe scout, so the probe scout actually sees. Then the probe scout. If the probe scout sees what's going on, then you can kill the Overlord. But if you didn't get the scout,
you save yourself from calling Dragon a donk there when really
he's not a donk. He's not a donk. Yeah.
But yeah, so that is something to be aware of. Actually, the donk Protoss move, the classic donk Protoss move, and then immediately losing to the 3-hatch Hydra. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're going to avoid that today, luckily.
Yep. So it looks like we lost one Overlord. I mean, let's see if Stryker can avoid losing the second Overlord. I mean, I think it's going to be tough because Dragon... no, he's going to lose it. Usually if the Corsair hits the Overlord before the Spire is done, you're going to get it. So this is what I mean. That's why sometimes you have to hide it, or you have to open Hydra, or you lose too much damage. And we got Zealots on the way as well, so he might take a lot of damage from this.
Really well timed by Dragon. Being careful with these Corsairs, keeping them away from the eggs, because he knows Scourge are going to be popping out any second now.
Yeah, and he doesn't have it.
here we go.
He gets one
Nice.
more there. That's huge. But he doesn't have anything. Yeah, he's got 5 zealots at the front door.
Yeah, this is actually going to be brutal. He's going to have some impeccable drone drilling, I think, if he wants to hold here.
Yeah.
Dragon not really giving him the chance, though.
Yeah, he's some good micro. He knows what's coming.
Oh, drone goes down. Yeah, and it looks like this might just snowball from this point. I mean, you have to think that Dragon's already preparing for the follow-up. He already knows this is doing a lot of damage. The drill's solid from Stryker, actually, but...
Yeah, he's gonna... I think he might just hold, but this is a lot of mining time lost, and Dragon's just firing. Yeah, I know, this is getting really nasty. Yeah. But he's gonna hold here, and it looks like he's gonna defend. This is what I mean, you know, sometimes, like, in practice, Stryker would have completely destroyed that, but he did take some damage, and Dragon's gonna move on with his build. The beauty of this is that it slows down Zerg so that Dragon can actually put up his gateways before putting down a lot of those cannons, and so this is going to be really rough for Stryker moving forward.
Yeah, Dragon played that just about impeccably. I mean, playing super patiently with those zealots, he knew that he was entitled basically to a good trade there, and he wasn't going to try and risk it all on some huge gamble like going into the mineral line. And we saw that a couple of drones got away with just one hit, but the fact of the matter is Dragon played so well, didn't throw away the zealots too early, and now this follow-up attacking the third base is going to do a ton of damage. I mean, I'm just popping out, but these zealots have speed, and now drones are just going to get absolutely decimated.
Yeah, this is so rough. I mean, Dragon's doing such a good job not allowing Stryker to even get into his build, and only 3 drones left there.
Yeah.
Only 2 drones. I mean, Dragon.
He's going for it. He's going for it. Oh man, this is rough.
Yeah, it's definitely rough. I mean, Dragon's just moving on with his build. Only 1 drone mining at the third base, so I don't know what he can even do here. I wonder if Dragon even is continuing to build Corsairs. I think that's why. Oh no, he saves that one.
That would have been actually insane.
Yeah, so really good play from Dragon, actually cutting the Corsairs. You know, keeping Stryker kind of too busy to even check whether or not there's a lack of Sayers, so he can't even mute switch. You know,
like Tempo is banking energy already, so we're ready for whatever Stryker can throw at us at this point.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. I mean, I don't know what kind of outs he has here. He might need to just go, I don't know, mass Hydra with I don't know, a Muta switch, but he doesn't even know that the Corsairs are low in count because he spent his Scourge killing that Corsair and he was too busy dealing with the Zealots. So I don't think he can actually just go Muta switch here. He doesn't know that it's viable.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, he has to make some sort of play here. So even without having that knowledge, I wouldn't be surprised to see him take some sort of risky move like that. Oh, he actually almost catches these Templar out of position. It looks like he's going to... Okay, well, he baits out a Storm and doesn't take too much damage, which is solid, but... The army, I mean... Dragon's being so relentless with these move-outs. He's not giving Stryker a second to breathe. We saw that Stryker had a huge drone round there, so you have to think that he's not going to be ready for this number of Zealots with Storms already.
Yeah, I mean, this might be the end. I mean, it looks like Stryker was really trying to get back into the game with the droning, and
Dragon looks a little bit hasty with his Zealots. It looks like these Templar are getting caught out of position here. One goes down, a huge Storm goes, 2 huge Storms goes off.
Oh, yeah, and he's going to pick off the... I wonder if he even got the Lurker upgrade, so I mean, this might be the beginning of the end here.
I think this is the end of the end. Jaeyun.
Yeah, I think this is rough. I mean, I was trying to have some hope, but that's GG.
GG. Such a well-executed play by Dragon. I mean, just absolutely relentless pressure. Did not allow Stryker a second to breathe. You saw as soon as he tried to drone up, he got absolutely punished for it.
Yeah, and you know, and for a guy like Dragon, I mean, you know, I played this matchup on both sides so much, and that was so well executed. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to even, like, a lot of Protoss, Donk Protoss on, you know, ladder, they just send Zealots. I'm telling you, man, like, they just send Zealots, and, you know, a lot of times, like, you can't appreciate a guy like Dragon just because, like, you see Donk Protoss doing this, like, just praying that it works, but everything that Dragon did there was so calculated and so well executed, you know, from the Corsairs, you know, scouting the main base so he can kill the first Overlord, then he got the second Overlord, then he sent 5 Zealots, then he cut the Sayers, like, everything was so beautifully executed and so well timed and studied that sometimes, you know, if you just view it as like, the Donk Protoss just got a Zealot, you know what I mean? That's what's
totally
beautiful.
You're raising a great point. I think a lot of players wouldn't be able to appreciate some of the finer aspects of Dragon's build there.
So really good play. I mean, he ties it up for team what some kill whatever.
It's the clown killers. Yeah, they actually killed the clowns, so they're in the finals now. But
yeah,
man, what an excellent game by Dragon. So we really got to see both sides of the matchup there. I mean, Cross really gave us a masterclass on ZVP, and then Dragon steps up to bat next, shows the Protoss players how it's done. So
yeah,
Zerg and Protoss have no more excuse on that, or you better get good at that matchup now.
Yeah, seriously, man, that was a really good showing by both. Probably both ace, or I don't know if Dragon's going to be the ace, but one of the two aces on Dragon's side. But
yeah, I mean, after that game, I would have a hard time seeing anyone else get picked for the ace spot. I mean, he just played excellently there. But
he played so well, yeah.
Yeah. But up next, we have Unco versus Crane. Now, I'm excited for this match.
I know.
We finally got a Terran player in here.
I didn't even know Unco played TVP, man. I just thought he was a Protoss player. But how is this TVP?
I actually haven't played with him that much. Unfortunately, he was on IRK for a while, but I never got a chance to play with him while he was there. But I saw some of his games. I saw when we played against him, I saw the TVP that he played, and that was actually an insane TVP. It went on for like 35 minutes or something crazy. Yeah. Just total back and forth slugfest. So I'd be excited to see something like that. It's going to be on Polypoid, so definitely a good, strong shot for a late game here. Terran is able to take 4 bases without too much trouble.
Yeah.
It looks like we're getting into it right away.
Yeah.
All right, in the bottom left, we have Crane, our Protoss player.
And in top right, we have the red Terran as Unco. Even though his account says not Unco.
Not Unco. Well, yeah. It's a little confusing, but I think we got the hang of it.
Yep. All right. So what do you think? What do you think is a good opening for Terran on Polypoid? I mean, it seems like it's a pretty big map. I don't know too much about this matchup, but is it maybe a rack CC open? I mean, it's also cross position as well.
Yeah, it is cross positions, which if Unco knew it, definitely rack CC would be the move. Rack CC is a build that I absolutely love. If you're able to get it off without getting without dying, you're almost always in an insanely strong spot. Your economy is in such a good position, so I think it's always something important to throw in just as a player, but it is a best of one, so you have to be thinking that as a Terran player you really don't want to lose to something like a forward gate and just be out of it immediately to choose Zealots. So I think in best of ones a lot of Terran players tend to go for a gas expand, but we're gonna have to see what kind of player Unco is. I would probably favor the Rax expand though, personally. Yeah,
and I think Crane, he's a really solid Protoss player. I think he loves playing that macro game. So I don't know. I don't think he's probably not going in for that Zealot, because usually you want to make this gateway as close as you can to the ramp or towards the enemy base. So it looks like it might just be a normal opening. It looks like also Unco's not going in for the rack expand here either.
Most likely not. I actually have a little bit of insider info. I played a couple practice games with Crane today. Help him prepare for this match. And the style that he was playing was real solid, going for that quick arbiter type play. And it looked like he was ready to go to late game. So I think we're gonna see what Unco decides to do. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for more of like a vulture heavy mid game and try to get some harassment damage done, and maybe try and go all in from there, something like that. So both players have the potential to go for late game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Unco decided to switch it up. And it looks like he actually is going to go for gasless just for the racks in the main base. So a little bit of an interesting build. It could even be a delayed gas, possibly, but it looks like at this timing, he's probably just going to do, a second depot and just go nonstop SCVs, Marines, and then go take his bottom, his natural expansion, which is a totally legit way to play.
Right. I mean, if you just get the bunker out there and maybe some, I don't know, like a SCV block or something. I mean, it's probably still, vulnerable to like a Zealot run by, but I don't think that's going to be an issue because Crane's not even opening Zealot here. So, given that it's cross positions, I mean, it's pretty unlikely that Unco will do maybe like a 2-base push, right? Or am I wrong about that?
I mean, it definitely discourages players from doing it compared to close positions, but at the same time, the fact that it is cross spawns mean that it's going to go off without a hitch. We see no Zealot coming out from Crane, and he's not even going to scout it for a little bit longer, so the only damage he's really going to be able to do is with pinging the bunker with those goons, but because it's cross spawn, that's even going to be lessened. So while 2-base all-in wouldn't necessarily be the most obvious pick from Terran because it is cross spawn, you could still see it because the factory, I mean, the Rax expand gives you such an insane econ. You could cut SCV so early compared to the Protoss and just go all in with factories that it can totally catch Crane off surprise, a little bit by surprise.
Yeah, you know, I kind of, it's a little interesting that Crane opted to get that little pylon over there. I wonder if he's kind of just doing that to, you know, make Unko a little bit nervous that there's a proxy out there, but I'm pretty sure he's going for the Nexus because he's got, you know, only 2 probes on the gas, but really interesting because it prompted Unko to just scout at 12 and 3 right now. It's a really good move. I've actually never seen getting that, you know, random pylon back there.
Yeah, actually, this is something that TT1 is a big advocate for. It also serves the dual purpose that if on the off chance that Terran goes for a BBS, it gives you something to mineral drill on, so you can pull probes in the main base. So it's a really smart move. I think all Protoss should be doing it just about every game. I don't think there's even like, I can't even think of a single downside to it. Besides, I guess, the probe mining time that you're losing, but that's pretty negligible. I think it really, like you said, it forced Unko to scout all those spots. If you're playing a Terran player that's paying attention and knows what they're doing with their scouting, it could definitely throw them for a loop like that.
Yeah, so we do have the CC up. Unko's going to be on with his build. He denies the SCV from coming inside the main base, which is good because, you know, Unko might still be, you know, a little bit, there it is. There's the eBay. He's a little bit worried about something. So really good mind game from Crane here. I mean, I think he might even just go for some, I don't know, like a double expand, or let's see, I don't know if he might even go for a Reaver play, but he's going to set himself up very well. And it's Unko's probably going to also set up for a 3-base push as well, right?
Most likely. It really actually throws your build off quite a bit to have to get the eBay in this spot here. We're going to be piling up a little bit extra gas for a while, which just kind of throws things off a little bit. And also, you really like to be getting your academy early so you know exactly what the Protoss is up to. But getting the eBay, definitely the ultra safe choice. Unko doesn't want to get caught by surprise by anything.
Yeah, so I mean, right. Yeah, usually he's going to make the turret in there, and he's going to do nothing because I think Crane just took the 9 o'clock base and going for a super fast double expand, and Unko can't do anything about it. So, well, I guess Unko's going to scout it now, so he's going to see that nothing's going on.
Yeah, if his scouting is on point, he should realize that there's quite a bit of minerals missing from the base layout from Protoss, so it's probably a Nexus at 3rd. I mean, just because he got that eBay and that turret, it put him in such an unfortunate position where going all in, something like a 4-factory push that some players like to do, he could still do it possibly, but I mean not anymore with the armory. And already having to go for 1 factory and then the eBay and not the 2nd factory immediately kind of made that not a possibility either, just because you really need that double tank production to put any sort of pressure on the Protoss player. As it stands, Unko's totally trapped in his base, and he's having to micro his tank to drive off the goons.
Yeah, so it's looking really good for Crane here. He's setting up well for his double expansion. I imagine he's probably, 4 gateways.
A little surprising. I mean, I guess it makes sense. He has no idea what Terran is doing. Like, it could be, for all he knows, it could be a 4-factory, but now that he sees Siege, that should tip him off a little bit that Terran is playing defensively, not going for the vulture upgrades immediately. So I would like to see a little bit quicker tech from Crane, perhaps, but I mean, he's already getting away with murder, getting this 3rd base so early. He really doesn't need to double down on the greed, so I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah, I'd love it. If he got that Citadel and that 2nd gas right about now, that would be so great. He would really put himself in a great position to give him options with that Arbiter, but either way, it's still good. He's going to be macroing his butt off, and he's just making sure he doesn't die to something stupid. I mean, there comes the Citadel. It's a little bit later, but I think it's still at a good time. Oh, and Unko is putting down 4 factors. This looks like a 2-base push, Father.
Yeah, I definitely could be. He has his armory timing pretty solid, so it looks like he has a plan for maybe going for +2 at some point, but he could just go for a +1 push right here and do a decent amount of damage. Looks like...
Oh, wait,
it's also... Okay, well, yeah. So this is actually a legit play to some extent from Unko, because Crane did throw down 4 factories right away. And so I was actually going to say, while I didn't exactly like Crane delaying his tech, going for 4 gateways right away... Sorry, 4 gateways. Going for 4 gateways right away is actually going to make it quite difficult for Unko to take his 3rd base, because he had to delay his 2nd factory so much. So Unko putting a little bit extra gas early on into getting these extra factories, it does suck because he's already so behind on his 3rd timing, but it is a little bit of a necessary evil to deal with this gateway count.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think especially as you're kind of fighting uphill to get that third base, right?
Yeah.
So is it kind of annoying? Do Protoss like to kind of camp that spot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, it's definitely a big opportunity for games to be decided. Trying to take that third base in particular. If there's a shuttle bomb timed with some Dragoons, I mean, it's just a complete nightmare to deal with. But
Yeah.
Crane is still teching up quite quickly, despite delaying his Citadel a little bit. I mean, his Stargate's going to be finished by like 8:30, which is great. And Unko still hasn't been able to take his third base, but he is going up to 2 on upgrades here at quite a quick timing, actually. His +1's already done. He already has his science facility done, so good +2 timing.
Yeah, is that a 4th base from Crane? I can't see on the mini-map on the left. Oh my goodness, that's a strange 4th base. Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, it kind of catches Terrans off by surprise sometimes. I mean, obviously having another main base would kind of be ideal because it lets you throw it on gateways and stuff, but this base could go unscouted for a long time, and it's not like he's going to be really wanting for gas that much. I mean, late game Protoss, it gets away with having surprisingly little gas, at least on the first max out, until you kind of incorporate Templar, then it becomes real gas intense. But I mean, he has a third gas available to him.
Oh, it gets scouted.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not a huge deal. Most likely Unko can't take advantage of this right now, but it does set him up for his push pathway. He knows where he's going to push now, most likely just go immediately west of here, take out those 2 bases, and then maybe expand to the 12 o'clock. So Unko not going to be able to punish immediately, but it is he does kind of have like a game plan going into the late game here. So I do like his position. Despite being behind economically, his upgrade timing is quite quick, and he was able to take this third base. And now he's being real active with these vultures. I want to see what he's going to get done with these, because I think that he has the potential to do damage with them.
Yeah,
only 4 goons there. I actually would have liked to see him try and take that fight with some good mind laying. He might have been able to get those goons.
Yeah, just being a little conservative, and I agree with you that I think scouting that base up there at the top left, I think that, kind of makes it an obvious play, at least in my mind, to take the 12 o'clock as the 4th and kind of slow push your way there and deny Crane from taking the top left main. And so I don't know. Well, I don't know actually. Is
nice.
Nice pick off there.
And see, this is the thing, is that because he was conservative with those vultures, he was able to take advantage of that opportunity. So good move on his part, not being a donk like me and throwing away his vultures.
Yeah, good map control. He's got a lot of mines on the map. I love the map presence. I do see something at the 3 o'clock. I wonder if he's going to start, I don't know, start making some
I think he could just put his 4th down on site. I mean, look at the minimap coverage he has with these mines. He could just take that base. Protoss wouldn't scout it for such a long time, and even if Protoss did scout it, he would have to go quite out of position to go take advantage of it. So, I mean, he could even double expand, take 12 and 3. It'd be a little bit greedy, but if it went unpunished and he could hit an insane timing, I mean, he would just be able to max out constantly, nonstop, over and over again.
Well, there it is. It's the 3. He's going to take the 3. I don't know that I love that base. I mean, I think just kind of taking 12 and maybe just defending 12 and slow pushing your way into top left may have been the better choice, but I'm not a good Terran player, so but either way, I mean, this layout probably lends itself to a really long game. I mean, they might split map from left to right, so we might be in for a good one here.
And I think that's such a smart move, but I mean, I actually do think taking 3 o'clock's a pretty smart move and going for more of a split map, like you said, because the one kind of big disadvantage he had going into this mid-late game is that his econ was quite behind. His third base was a lot later, and Crane was able to take that 4th base super quick. But if we're able to turn this, I mean, the later and later the game goes on without big trades happening, it's going to start evening out for Unko. He's not going to be behind, and as soon as they max out, really, that whole lead kind of vanishes for Crane. It just kind of turns into his bank, which doesn't have as big of an immediate impact on the game. So trying to drag it out like this, taking that taking that 3 o'clock base now, and then maybe taking 12 o'clock while pushing. But I mean, we could lose it right now to these Dragoons if we're not able to get our army in position quickly to the 3 o'clock position. Those goons are just on a hell march.
Yeah, but we do have tanks, and tanks are pretty good on a high ground, so I think he's gonna be safe here. Nice block.
Nice depot wall also. So for now, this base is going to stay up, and I really don't see a way for Crane to attack this fully until he has Arbiters with recall, something like that. So I think Unko is going to secure this, and then from this point, I mean, this is a really solid spot for Unko. He has to start preparing for recall maybe, but I mean, he's going to be able to start eating up huge portions of the map, and Crane hasn't been able to take a single effective trade yet. Although these 2 tanks are going to be free, so we'll take that.
Yeah, it's going to be hard because recall's going to be done in about like 30 seconds or so, and I don't see any turrets on the left side of Unko's main.
And I'm a little concerned that Unko's supply right now is quite low for comparison to Crane's supply. I mean, a 50 supply deficit, it's not insurmountable, but it looks like he's going to go for a stasis timing here, maxing out very quickly. And with his stasis, we're going to see what kind of stasis he gets.
Oh, going to get the EMP!
Oh, the clutch is the EMP all the time. Oh my, he's still going to take the fight. I think this is a huge mistake. I think Crane might... Let's see how it goes. Zealot's leading the charge, getting huge mind drags, getting deep into the tank line, but reinforcements coming in. Man, there's just not that many tanks here. Crane,
I think he's...
Crane is such a good timing here. Even that god tier EMP, which also keep in mind, it hit a ton of Dragoons too.
Right.
But it looks like, well,
I think he's going to hold it.
He's going to hold it, but Crane is now taking the top left bases, and he has such a huge bank that I was talking about earlier, so... Unko's not out of it yet. He's probably going to have his 3-2 started soon, if not already on the way. And so it still is possible for him to take this game, but he's going to have to hold on to that 3 o'clock base. And it looks like we have maybe some Zealots sneaking in there.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that's very annoying to deal with.
Great play by Crane, realizing that there's not going to be units in position there. So really just pulling Unko's army every which way. And at this point, Unko kind of has a straightforward game plan in one sense, because all he has to do really is survive till max out, but you put it simply like that, it's really not easy. I mean, there's going to be a ton of recall potential coming in soon. We need to start preparing for that. I mean, also just another straightforward bust like we saw earlier is a potential. We could just max out immediately as Crane and all in again, so Unko has to be, the next couple minutes are going to be make or break for him. If he's able to get up to that max 3-2 army, anything is possible, and he could just take 12 o'clock and 5 base Terran. I mean, that's like 30 minutes worth of Terran, basically, so anything's possible.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. I mean, I wonder if Unko's actually short maybe like 10 or 15 SCVs. His money seems to be a little bit low, and I don't see any turrets anywhere, so he's so vulnerable to a recall here. But we'll see if he can push out before to not even allow the recall. But Crane's looking really good. He's got that main at the top left starting to make some additional gateways. His macro's on point. He's got arbiters. I don't know if he's got 2-star gates or 1-star gate, but as long as he can take some good fights, he's in a great position. But like you said, 3-2 Terran is not nothing to mess with. So
no, certainly not. Many Protoss have fallen because of the folly of messing with
Looks like we only have 1 arbiter though, so I mean that's going to be my one worry. My one worry, if he had a few more arbiters with some stasis and just
that one arbiter, it's on a beeline for that 3 o'clock base. I don't see
Can you see it?
I see it happening. That Ursadon sees it happening. Is trying to get out of there, but the army's here. This is the nightmare scenario for Unko, but it looks like Crane's just going to take the fight right now. We'll see how this goes. I mean, the tank siege was actually pretty quick, and the Vultures are right on these tank lines, so the Zealots aren't able to get on top of it. Unko actually takes quite a good trade there, and also saves his 3 o'clock base, delaying the recall for now at least.
Yeah, I really wish that Crane just backed up and recalled there. Yeah. That would have been such a sick move, and he could probably even take like 6 o'clock, but let's see if he even goes for it soon. But I think he might be feeling a little bit pressure, so he might bring that Arbiter home for a stasis.
Yeah, and if we saw another God tier EMP from Unko, I think he might actually just immediately steamroll the top left expansions. I mean, Crane facing an almost nightmare scenario where throwing away such a perfect position, not necessarily thrown away yet, but there's a potential for it. I mean, really, like I'm saying, just one more God tier EMP like that, and everything could change. Like you're saying, that the Arbiter count really isn't where we want to see it right now. He has so many bases, so many gas geysers, he could easily be pumping off 2 Stargates.
Yeah, so he's going to go in for the surround. So here we go. Are we going to go in for the fight here? We're going to get a good stasis. Oh, I'm launching it from the minimap. Oh, but I think there's too many tanks and everything's too sparse right now.
Oh, but here comes the second wave of Zealots, and there's just not Vultures to cover the tanks, and I think
did it forget stasis?
I don't know, the full energy Arbiter not doing much for the fight right now, and Unko's reinforcing the position, but I mean the supply deficit's getting real bad, and Unko's banking up quite a bit, so you have to think those factories haven't been producing nonstop. We actually stasis our own observer, which actually hurts quite a bit because there are mines in the way of our army. We're tanking them full on with the zealots. We just don't even care. We want to get the kill right now before the stasis unfreezes.
Yeah, so it looks like Crane's gonna reset Unko's entire army, but we are in 4-base Terran, or is he? I don't know. It's quite close, but the tank count seems to be quite low for Unko.
Yeah,
so.
the tank is the real important thing here, but I mean the supplies are surprisingly even. You would think that Crane is able to max out quite quickly from the position he's in, but Unko's doing a good job of keeping up. And I mean, if he kind of just reinforced this one position here and took 12 o'clock, I mean, he could easily remax, get up to 3-3, and then there's a whole another maxed out Terran army to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's gonna take a ninja expansion at the.
Wow, that's a lot of tanks that just came out of nowhere. Look at that tank reinforcement, and with more mines coming down, I don't know if Crane's able to break this.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. We're going to need some more stasis here, but we got those 2 EMPs, or I mean 2 vessels just kind of patrolling, so if he can deny a stasis, I think Unko can continue to reinforce this. Oh, as I said, the vessels get frozen! Oh!
But there's no observing here, these goons are just tanking mines. Oh, Jesus, what an absolutely insane game right now.
Yeah,
but those mines are doing so much damage. The goon's absolutely getting obliterated, so even though we have the godliest of god tier Arbiter stasis, might not be enough to break this position.
You know, Crane's got 185 supply. I don't know where it is. I mean, does he have 100 probes or something?
Yeah, we could have actually seen a huge worker discrepancy. It might have been a situation where Unko was on 52 SCVs to 80 something probes from Crane. It wouldn't even be that surprising because Crane really hasn't been trading as well as you would think he could have been from the position he's in.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna go and clean this up. I mean, I wonder if he's got the stasis.
The mines are getting cleared out, but the goons are just able to get shot upon, and there's no zealots to really get in this tank line.
Oh, so. No stasis. Man, if he got that clump in the middle, he may have held this here, but those tanks are getting... Oh, we got some more reinforcement. We got some more Protoss. Just as I was about to say that Terran was going to win this.
Man, these fights are actually such nail-biters. It's so close. Even those last 2 tank shots, they were insanely clutch, but it looks like just barely by the skin of his teeth, Crane's going to clean this up. But look at the supplies. I mean, they're real close. It looks like Unko's taking 12 o'clock. He got the bottom right base discovered, but I mean, he can take 12 o'clock for now. And if he's able to reinforce... Well, he's losing all those tanks too. This is getting real dicey at this point. We're running out of money as the Terran player.
we really need that 5th base ASAP. Now, if Unko, I think that he shouldn't be too aggressive here. I think he should maybe back up and slow push.
Dude, Unko is a god with the EMP, and Crane kind of let him get back into position here, surprisingly. He's actually going to be able to trade well with this first army, get back into position, get his army sieged back up, get mines laid. I'm so surprised that Unko's been able to get into this position time and time again, still ranging that Nexus.
Yeah, he's really got to get in there. I mean, if he can get that... Oh, he goes! Super huge plays for Unko.
Oh my god, dude, this game's insane, dude. I don't even understand how this game can be real. I don't even know. I'm mind blown right now. If Unko actually manages to win this game, and I don't even know what Crane can do at this point. I mean, he needs more bases because these top left bases are totally isolated. The natural is going to get taken out for sure. The mineral only is taken out for sure. And so Crane's mining off of 2 full base, 1 mineral only. You've got to be thinking that he needs another expansion soon.
Yeah, you know, I think one thing that would have really given him outs is if he just took the 6 o'clock or the bottom right while all this happened and kind of play like that, just making bases everywhere and just starving Terran. But now Unko has 12 o'clock, so he's gonna have a lot of fresh minerals to remax, and he got the double kill.
Yeah, you're totally right, and it even looks like Crane is allowing Unko to bust up into the top left expansion without too much of a fight. Having the high ground there is such an important part of this matchup. Trying to make it different. Like usually it's kind of impossible to break main bases like this when they take them, but okay, this is good. He's actually going to clean up these tanks, it looks like. But
the spider mines though, doing a lot of work. This is really painful.
Upgraded tanks are OP, man. What the hell? Who balanced this game?
Yeah, who did that, man? 15 damage? What?
Yeah,
UMS?
So this position from Unko up in the top left is really unassailable right now for Protoss, so he's going to have to scramble to take some southern expansions, but I mean, Unko's going to be able to take the top left bases now as his own, and he has that 12 o'clock freshly mining, so he's going to be very rich for a while. He's going to be able to max out momentarily and start banking up. And I mean, Dude, Unco's gotten away with absolute murder. The fact that he hasn't gotten recalled at any of these bases yet. There's no defense, not a single turret, not a single mine. He just doesn't care. I mean,
he's a Protoss player.
Yeah.
He's playing Terran like he's playing Protoss. He has no defenses, no regard for anything. He's just, but I like it because he's taking that calculated risk, going in, constantly pressuring and attacking.
Yeah,
and so
that's
it's paying off for him.
If he had spent a ton of money on turrets to try and defend these bases, he probably wouldn't be able to muster out the army that he did on such a low econ. And now he's in a dominating position in this game. I'm seeing less and less outs for Crane. He's taking the bottom right bases, but I mean, look at that huge army that's building up in the natural for Unco. He's just gonna, whenever he wants, basically, he can collapse the armies together, bring them together.
Yeah, you know, Unco's army is split, so if Crane can fight them, kind of two sides of the map, he could do a lot of damage here. And you know, Crane really needs to buy time because he lost probably 25 to 35 probes at the top left corner, so he also needs to be remaking probes, and that's something that you don't think to do it during the stage of the game. But looks like we're gonna have a huge battle here in the middle of the map.
We need to see how these EMPs versus stasis are. It's everything at this point.
Oh, he's got to back up there. I mean, that vulture roll is gonna be a little bit too much.
And honestly, the stasis are getting in the way of the army. All those vulture stasis blocking Terran tanks, and not the trade that Crane was looking for.
Yeah, that's going to be rough. I mean, that might do it. I mean, look at he's got no bank behind this. He's trying to remax and trying to rush into that sieged army with vultures in front. Someone's got to text Crane that 3-3 tanks are pretty good, man.
Dude, they're kind of OP, honestly. I have never seen a 3-3 tank before because I always leave the game too quickly. But
you should try it.
A little bit. I should
you gotta try it sometime, man. It's pretty good.
But Crane looking for that one miracle engagement. I mean, still, he has a chance. If he has 4 arbiters, so really anything is possible. If he gets miracle stasis off, he can take an engage just against half the Terran army, the other half being stasis.
Yeah, but he's gonna go in here. Is he gonna get an engagement?
This is not the engagement he wants. 5 arbiters now.
Okay, he's got the vessel, but I don't think he has enough ground units.
Second one's pretty big, but it looks like only 2 for now, and the super late siege from Unco, I've got to say, but still it doesn't matter. I mean, the first volley of tank shots just absolutely obliterates the Dragoon line. You saw like a 30 supply drop with that one tank volley. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting.
This is rough. You know, it's hard because Protoss doesn't have another base. He doesn't have another main to macro gates off of. So if Unco just goes for the jugular straight into the main base, it's game over. But he can do anything. He can go for the arms. He can go for the heart. He can go for the head. I mean, he's got so many openings.
It's a really good point. He could, either the econ or the gateways. Take your pick. You can have either one of them, and either one of them effectively into the game. So Unco has the freest of choices here. Although he could decide just to not do anything, which he was doing for a while. But now consolidating his army, ready to take out the bottom expansions, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, that is many tanks. That is many tanks, my friend. Yeah. He might just go in and kill this. And I don't know what Crane could do. I mean, I guess Crane might go to deny the top left and maybe 12. I don't know. His army's
look at that bank. Look at that Unco bank. Look at that Unco bank. It don't matter. He doesn't need to mine a single mineral for the rest of this game. He has enough money to last him. Yeah,
it looks like Unco's going in for, chopping off one of the arms, and Crane's going to go for but the problem here is that Crane cannot be trading like this because in a base trade scenario, I'm taking 3-3 tanks, man. I don't know about you, but I'm taking the 3-3 tanks, and you have to deal with this army at one point, and you've got to whittle it down somehow. And so going for these economy, I mean, I think it's great, but you have to deal with this maxed army, and I don't know that Crane has enough money to destroy this.
Yeah, it would take some combination of miracle stasis plus blanketing storms plus the infinite power of Jesus Christ. I don't see it happening. I mean,
3-3 tanks.
Miracle.
Yeah, that's.
Look at how many tanks he has, dude. He has like 8 down in the 6 o'clock base killing it. Then he has like another 20 with his main army. 4 more over here. Dude, this guy has tanks for days.
Yeah, this is nasty. I mean, now Unco can even take bottom right if he wanted it.
Yeah.
Crane is trying to I don't know, he's trying to get something done, but his army is all sparse, and now we've got the Terran army coming in here. He might siege up and just end the game right now.
Yeah, it looks like Crane's trying to take one more expansion here at this mineral only, but it's going to be thwarted. There's no way that he can take this fight. There's no combination of stasis here. That is, certainly not just getting one vulture. It's not going to be enough, and it looks like Unco is going to try and claim once again this mineral-only expansion. It might be it for Crane. I don't see any more outs for him. I mean, that would literally be his last mining base. I think he has a couple minerals at that other mineral-only, but I mean, half the supply of Unco.
Yeah, I think he just doesn't want to give in here. I mean, I think he knew he was in a pretty good spot with the openings and early game and whatnot, but unfortunately he's going to go for one big hurrah, and I don't think it's going to do anything to touch the Terran army.
No, the supply barely even moves. The needle barely even swivels. And with that, the Terran player prevails. We had one Terran today in the 1v1s so far, and looks like he's going to take that W. So GG comes out from Crane.
GG.
Great GG timing from Unco. Got it
what a race, man. What a race. I don't know. Those tanks do a lot of damage, and they shoot from afar, too.
Those are two aspects of the siege tank. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, I got to start playing that race, man. But really well played from Unco. I mean,
what a
Crane's preparation. I was gonna say it paid off. It paid off in the sense that I think he executed it, but towards the late game, he kind of made some poor decisions. I mean, taking that top left, I don't know that I loved it, just because it allowed, Unco to have that position, and also just took away so much attention from that 3 o'clock. I think that Crane should have just been a little bit more Protossy. Like, he's being too honest. Like, he should have just gone straight for the recall and turned it into a dogfight because he had so much economy. But he came back. He only had one arbiter for that big stasis army, and unfortunately, Unco was able to prevail.
Indeed. So that's going to be 2-1 for the Cabal. And up next, it looks like we have the 2v2, so that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, this is going to be really cool. I mean, it's going to be on
Python. Oh my god, a blast from the past.
Yeah, that's going to be a map that I never want to play. I know. Yeah, it's a boomer map.
I'll let you in a little secret. I've never once queued into this map once, never played a game on it once.
It's a pretty bad map, but it's a pretty cool map for 2-on-2 though, so I don't mind it.
Yeah. I think I remember going on the Korean server once and looking at the custom games and being surprised at how many people were playing just 1v1 Python. That's like the super boomer. Like you see the boomers on like US West just queuing up 1v1 custom games on Fighting Spirit and stuff, but this is super boomer to go on Python. That's next level.
Yeah, I mean I don't know what they're doing with their lives, to be honest. I mean, they're probably in a midlife crisis or something.
Brilliant things.
Probably not. If you're playing Python, I mean, that's just, you've got to be, something's got to be wrong with you.
You've hit rock bottom.
You either have problems with your brain or you don't have one.
Well, that would be a problem, I guess. But
yeah, but
2v2 Stryker and SFCA versus Jiraiya and Galaxy. So I'm getting a second Terran game. That's nice.
Yeah. So I mean, what do you think about these matchups? Because I have absolutely no idea what to say about this.
I think I've played like 3 or 4 2v2s. So I think that I am well equipped to decree on all things 2v2. Actually, I have played some Terran and Protoss, although usually I've actually played a handful of games with Jiraiya and like Nation Wars and stuff. Terran Zerg.
Okay.
It's a good time. I kind of just build Goliath and let him do his thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think. Well, SFC is a Protoss player, right? I mean, I think they could choose different races, but I think it's going to be a Protoss Zerg against a Terran Protoss combo. So, interesting to see if, I think one of the big considerations in 2-on-2, if I could maybe be a little intelligent here for people, is, whether or not the team wants to go for an early game rush, going in for like the tier 1 units, like massing Lings, massing Zealots type thing. Or if we're gonna kind of move into Corsairs, lots of Marine medics and mutas and stuff. So I'm curious to see what Stryker's gonna do as the only Zerg player. I mean, I wonder if Jiraiya is gonna, they both might counter them really hard with anti-air if Stryker wants to go mutas. But I have no idea what these two have prepared.
Do you know if Stryker plays a decent amount of 2v2?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he plays Nation Wars. He played 2-on-2 in Nation Wars with the Raz, and I know Stryker in general is just a really good, intelligent, and he's also a very studious player. So he really prepares for all of his matches, and he practices different build orders, studies them, and especially with 2-on-2 with the Raz. So he's pretty good at it. And I wouldn't, it looks like But he is against Jiraiya, who's
Yeah.
I've heard on his stream title that it's the highest level 2-on-2 in the world. So I don't know if Stryker can beat the highest level 2-on-2 in the world.
It's a tall order, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know, but Jiraiya is definitely very good. But I think last we spoke, he was like 0-4 in turf wars.
Oh,
so I wonder. So I mean, Jiraiya was kind of like that value pick early on. He plays 1-on-1, plays 2-on-2, and it's a good pick for people's fantasy teams. But his stock is dropping. But let's see if he can turn it around.
All right. So we have interesting spawns here. We have the close by air spawns for all of these players. So this is going to be a little bit interesting. I wonder if we're going to see some cool harassment type plays, maybe some mutalisks early on.
Yeah.
Close by air, man. This is a disaster. How do you play this stuff?
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know. I was about to say, pretty sure we're going to see maybe like a Marine Medic, Zealot heavy type thing coming out of Galaxy and Jiraiya here. But like I said, I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about in 2-on-2.
Yeah, so we're just going to be play-by-play commentators here. We're along for the ride as much as you guys are, so we're excited for this.
Yeah, but it looks like SFCA does have a forward pylon. I wonder if that signals that he might go for a cannon in the fronts to maybe go for a kind of tech type play. But again, let's see what they're going to do. I mean, Jiraiya is also going in for a wall, which I think is pretty par for the course against PZ.
So yeah, I'm expecting to see. I think Jiraiya likes to tend to go for more of like a solid late game. As much as you can in 2v2s. Let's be honest, we're just going all in at the drop of a hat. But being on his team for Nation Wars, he definitely has had some solid strategies planned out. Not just all in every game, which definitely is viable in 2v2 as far as I'm aware. And we have a gas deal. I like this. So obviously it's not as good, or it's quite a bit more of a pain in the ass to deal with as Terran in 2v2 because you can't just go Rax expand. I expect him to probably just go 2 Racks in response to that and just go Marine Medic. So
I wonder how this works out in 2-on-2 because we got a 2-gate coming out of Galaxy at 6, and we also have Jiraiya going double racks, and it's really hard for Stryker to hold that. So I wonder if actually SFCA might make cannons for him up there, or once you get Marine Medic up in that base, you can't just sunken colonies. So I wonder what Stryker's gonna do. So we don't have a forward. He's just gonna say, "Screw you, Stryker. You're on your own."
Good luck. He's kicking him out of the house. Just graduated high school. Next day,
get out of here. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of tier 1 units coming out of Jiraiya and Galaxy. We got some Lings out on the map, not even killing that probe, so he's kind of confident.
Don't care.
And it's going to be tough holding this from Stryker. I imagine Galaxy Jiraiya is going to hit Stryker up there.
Yeah, most likely. The solid wall-in from Terran is going to make sure that these 5 Lings just aren't able to get much done. But they're going to come help the Zealot, which is nice. And they're actually going to decisively deal with this, most likely.
Right, I wonder if they're going to actually go for a quick DT, and maybe that was the logic behind going for the gas steal for Jiraiya. So
look at you, Jaeyun. A little tactician over here. But
exactly.
It's all up to Stryker now to zone out the Zealot, make sure it doesn't scout this. But it looks like it's actually...
Is that a Citadel?
Yeah, it is. Dude, that Zealot was so close. I don't know if that Zealot actually saw it. I don't think it did.
Yeah, he probably figures at this point. Oh, he's going to see it. Yeah, so I think with the DT, he's going to be able to contain Jiraiya because it's going to be a while till he gets a scanner up, and he's probably going to expand behind it, and Stryker's going to be in a good position because they're both going to be defended by that single DT. So great strategy. Yeah, I mean, I love the gas steal into the Dark Templar here.
Clever. So, yeah, I like this planning. Going straight into the lair right away from Stryker, so... Not surprising, these close by air spawns mean that any sort of muta harassment, sounds pretty scary to deal with. And he feels confident in taking his natural now, since the DT's on the way, presumably, well, a little bit out. But there's not really much room for aggression from the blue team.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what they're going to do. I mean, like I said, I heard this was the greatest 2-on-2 in the world, so I'm not seeing it yet, but let's see what they got in store, because Stryker's going to expand. He's going to go into probably a Spire, I guess, and then, I don't know, it's going to be really tough for Team Blue to come back here. Deny that SCV, good awareness by Stryker there, and I don't know, what kind of tech is Galaxy going for here? I wonder if he's going for robotics. Probably, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Stargate. Okay. Yeah, actually, that makes sense. You need the anti-air. See, the only difficult thing about this is they're going to be relying on one scanner to deal with Dark Templars at both bases.
Yeah.
I mean, Galaxy's not even going for an observatory, so how is he ever going to get out?
That's a good point. And I mean, we have to wonder this at some point. We're gonna have to start wondering if they even did recognize that the DT play was coming up next. They might just get blindsided by it. One scanner. I mean, he's gonna have immediate access to one scan, so maybe if he wanted to, he could use that to secure his natural, something like that. Put down some turrets for further detection. But like you said, I mean, getting out on the map right now is pretty much an impossibility.
Yeah, you know, we do have the starport on the way, so it looks like he's going to go for a quick vessel here. He's got to get some, you know, turrets up for the mutas that are en route from Stryker, but I guess that's what Galaxy's doing, is getting some anti-air to help out with that. But
yeah, it's going to be a delicate balance, and the DT is here already, trying to bait out the scan. Oh, nice!
Survives with 5 HP, Cape Boy.
Damn.
Boy.
Damn. He's got that sneaky DT right out of there with 5 HP, just one Marine hit away from death, but I mean, that's actually such incredible value. He's going to be able to use the second DT to send it straight to the base of Galaxy, so he has 1 DT at each base if he wants to, and it's going to cost even more to have to detect all that. I mean, man, what a pain in the ass. I mean, you see Jiraiya putting a turret up it as well. I guess that partially helps with the mutas, but it's also going to give him some detection.
Yeah, this is rough. I mean, this entire time we're disregarding SFCA and the right. I mean, he's just macroing up like a god here. So I mean,
yeah, but stuck on 1 base compared to the 2 bases. I mean, no, I'm sorry, you're right. SFCA is up to 2 bases now with the DTs and so much economy.
Yeah, that's scary. I wonder if he's just going to go for a huge. Galaxy's just going to go for some crazy speed zealot type thing at 6 o'clock. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but looks like Galaxy and Jiraiya are defending the mutas quite well, and the constant Corsairs should be able to handle the mutas. Looks like it's pretty risky that Galaxy's not even getting a cannon in his main either.
Yeah, but I'm getting a little bit worried for Stryker. His base is, I mean, really all he has. Oh, this is actually a good catch. Looks like he's going to take out at least 1 Corsair.
Oh, that is so painful, especially for a Protoss on 1 gas. I mean, Stryker's got some amazing micro there. Loses that Corsair, overstay its welcome over at 3 o'clock. Oh, and he got the 3D2 drop in the main, and that's going to be killer. And this indeed is the greatest 2-on-2 in the world.
Talk about a killing blow.
Yeah, what a play.
He doesn't even have the minute. Whoa, no.
Oh, it's over. I mean, I guess he can make a Nexus, but I mean, he can just send the Dark Templar there too, right? So,
man,
what a play. Oh, he's gonna actually just throw away those Dark Templars a little bit, but
a little bit of a misrally there.
I mean,
hate to see it, but the damage is kind of done.
Right.
We have 1 big push out here, but dude, this Templar is gonna get the biggest value ever, dude. Imagine if Zerg had Templar. I'm just seeing this and panicking. All I see is panic.
Oh my god, dude. Jiraiya, dude.
He's got to make something work. We need to see the godliest Marine splittings of all time. He's gonna go for it.
Oh, he's gonna go for it. Oh, where's the storm? He's gonna. Oh, I wish I had that. Oh, but you know what? There's still a lot here. I think he might be able to bust, and we might even have a one-on-one situation if Stryker goes down. Because that storm wasn't good enough.
But not massive enough. And we may be seeing the greatest 2v2 player of all time, Jaeyun, and we may be getting to see it. He may be coming out of his shell. Going into the main base now, there's just nothing here to stop this. I mean,
but there's the Dark Templar out there.
It's getting value.
Yeah, I was gonna kill all the drones.
Oh man, this is so rough, but I mean, you have to think the 2 base Protoss versus 1 base Terran, 1 base Protoss. I mean, it's hard to call it at this point. Jiraiya's on such low supply, and these DTs are actually getting so much value.
Oh my god, he doesn't have a scanner. Oh, there's a scanner, but can't even get the DT.
The DT can just run away if it doesn't.
Oh my god.
Think about the Zealot, man.
Damn, is that a medic zealot, man? What a combo. Never seen that in my life.
Pretty OP, actually. Dude, these probes harassing the drone. Why are probes here? What the hell?
Dude, that's pretty epic.
That's sick.
Looks like Stryker's actually gonna live. I mean, it's got 11 kills. I mean, that Dark Templar is pretty good, man.
Dude, what a game. So, Yeah, we have technically a one-based Protoss Galaxy, but it's not like you can really do much.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really strong push, really well executed by both Galaxy and Jiraiya, but it just wasn't enough because the detection was so difficult to deal with. I mean, I don't think he had a vessel, or did he? I don't know. I didn't see a vessel
I didn't
out there.
see it. And look at how many bunkers he's about to commit
Oh
to take
my
his natural.
God.
Brutal.
Yeah, he's gonna. I mean, I heard those bunkers. You know, they have a lot of HP. So, but with Storm out in the field. whoa! Come on, man. They got a lot of HP.
Stryker, he has 4 drones, and as Terran players call it, a healthy Zerg economy. So he's not out of it yet.
Dude, imagine Boxer with the Zealot. Holy crap, that would be insane if he kites around the medics. Come on, dude. Come on! Give it to us!
The body blocking medics would be sick. Oh, look at this drop!
Ooh,
It's
Jiraiya.
huge.
Oh, the Marines are on fire!
You love to see that.
Yeah,
There's nothing you love to see more than Marines not shooting.
Oh my God.
And
yeah, you don't see that too often.
Oh, Jiraiya only on 18 supply right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be rough. I mean, Stryker's
these Zealot attacks are non-stop. These absolutely relentless, not letting Stryker get a single drone produced.
Yeah, but how do you play TVP when you're 18 supply against 83? You know, what's
Marine medic
your...
certainly is Marine medic is the play. I'm not even joking. I mean, if you're on low econ like this, Marine medic is the only way. You just have to have the godliest splits of all time.
I think we need the page Unco here, man. We need some Unco in here to close this
just
out.
drag it out for another 30 minutes and.
Yeah, I mean those 3-3 tanks, right? Why don't we just wait for those things, right?
Yeah, I've heard they're good.
Yeah, I mean, looks like you know, Galaxy's trying to get as much as he can done with those, you know, a few Zealots. Like, might as well, right? He's got nothing else.
They have this full attention, undivided attention.
I mean, he's going drop ships. I mean, I like the idea, but you know, if this was against, whoa, is he going for a nuke? I saw a covert ops. What's that? Oh my God!
We're about to see some of the greatest 2v2 play on Earth.
This is amazing, dude. If he can get those nukes off and somehow win this game, I mean, that
would probably be the most legendary moment.
That would be legendary. Yeah, that would actually be amazing. So it looks like he's gonna get a drop off here. I don't know that I necessarily love this. I mean, it's a God.
This is an insane person move, but
oh my God.
I mean,
the storms.
What does he even stand to gain? There's not even anything. Striker's dead. What are you doing?
Oh my goodness.
We're just gonna let that tank
there. He's just like
just a flex on him. I don't need this position.
Oh, okay, he's gonna kill it. Yeah.
I'll give you a goon.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can at least get, you know, like stylistic points, right? Like, is there any points for the team if he gets a nuke off? Like, is there like any?
I think Strom said she would donate 100 of her personal dollars to anyone that did a nuke. So I hope you're listening, Strom. You're on the hook.
Yeah, I mean, if she doesn't, then you know, it's a little questionable, to be honest. I don't know if I'd want to. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to support these events in the future if she doesn't.
This might be the one and only Jaeyun cast.
Yeah, but we're gonna move out here with Jiraiya. I mean, even the observer kind of fell asleep a little bit. So, all right, there he is. It's all right.
What is this pylon, man?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's you know, he's gonna do it. Let's see if we can get...
Okay, let's be honest here for a second. 2v2 is insane. These Zealots are just running around the map like. I'm losing my goddamn mind here, dude. These Zealots are just going everywhere. They're just zipping across the map, fighting constantly. I mean, how are there still Zealots getting produced?
How are they alive? Yeah, they just...
This world is full of mysteries.
All right, we're gonna see a big battle here, and it's Scott Marine Medic against he's 16 supply. Terran.
No.
Wait, am I seeing that right? Is he on 16 supply? That's not right.
Oh no, I think we have it backwards. I think the Terrans. Oh, we have it completely back.
Holy smokes, dude.
It actually will be the last Jaeyun cast and not because of his decisions.
Alright, well, we got okay, but either way.
The Terran player. Let's just say the Terran player.
Yeah.
That'd be less embarrassing for us.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Storms. One storm per Marine. Those Marines were lucky they got their personalized storms.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. We completely casted this wrong, but alright, sorry guys. Either way, Either way.
So, yeah. So Dry's just been dead for like 20 minutes now. Damn. Rough.
Yeah, and we're not even get that nuke in here. I mean, honestly, why don't just let him get the nuke? You know what I mean? Just lose. You can still win. Yeah, why don't you
just lose? Just let him have
let
it.
him nuke. Yeah, I know.
It's like playing with your little brother. Sometimes you just gotta let him win.
Yeah, why not? Just kind of for the I mean, what are we doing here? We got 2 tanks. I mean, 2 tanks on the high ground. Yeah, they're pretty good, I guess. We got 2 ghosts out there, just ready to snipe an observer or something. I don't know.
Dude, this is insane, man. 2v2 is melting my brain as we speak. And we have and now it's a 1v1 really, so I can kind of think about it a little better. But all these random ghosts on the map are distracting me.
Yeah, this is nuts,
2 drones,
dude.
but we have 2 drones, so they're both mining the same patch. Maximum inefficiency.
Let's see how good Terran actually is.
Oh, we got a sniper. Nuke side on.
Oh man, we're struggling to kill these 2 goons, but the ghost. Oh, I want him to I want him to nuke like right now, like right there. Come on, dude, do it. Do it. You'll get 100. Oh no, it's gonna. Oh.
See ya. Alright, now it's SFCA versus Galaxy. Galaxy's finally transitioned into mech, so we can kind of see a somewhat standard TVP from like 2006.
Probably 1996 to be honest.
Oh, yeah, that's probably a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 bases here, so I mean, it's I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We do have some mining at the top right. I just kind of realized that. But I think SFC is just going to go in for the kill here. I mean, it's
probably mining at this point. You can just overwhelm most likely.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see. I mean, he's taking every other map. I mean, other expansion on the map. We got some vultures coming out here, doing some maybe doing some harass, but he's going to go in for the kill. How much work? Oh, he's like sending those zealots right into the mines.
Yeah.
Oh, and we got tanks on high ground.
I've heard they're pretty good.
Yeah, but are they good enough? I don't think so. I mean, I think he might just do it right now. He might just kill it.
Tanks on the high ground getting shot. GG. And wow. Man, what a game. 2v2 is insane, man. How do people play this?
Oh
my brain is just not equipped to follow that many actions at once.
We don't even know who the players are, but that was pretty sick, man. Like what a great opening from Stryker and SFCA. I mean,
the SFCA's move to go for the DT there was actually so brilliant. When you mentioned that, I was blown away, and I guess I switched up the other players because it was such a good play.
I mean, yeah, that gas steal into DT was it. I don't know. It confused us too. You know what I mean? Yep. That's how good it was. So
yeah, exactly. Even the casters couldn't keep up. So the Cabal now have a 3-1 lead over the Clown Killers, and they just have to win 1 more game out of the remaining 3 potential games. So
yeah,
they have quite a few chances here.
We do have Boa next, though. I mean, Boa is he's a beast, but it is a PvP, and Just is also a really strong player as well. So I would not be surprised if Just can pull off an upset here. Just is one of those guys that, if you let him get in his game, he can macro just as good as anybody in the foreign scene. So I'm really excited to see what he's got in store for Boa here.
And especially because it's on Ringing Bloom. So I'm expecting to see someone go for okay, here's my predictions. We're going to have 1 Nexus first, and we're going to have 1 regular safe gate expand, and that gate expand player is going to get absolutely punished for it. That's my father PvP prediction. Stamp of approval coming out now.
I mean, I think Just might go for the 11 Nexus or something because he's up against a beast in Boa, right? And Boa, I don't think Boa wants to risk going for the 11 Nexus. He's probably coming in here thinking he's the favorite, so he might go for like that 1 gate. Maybe a Nexus. I have no idea. It is a Protoss favored map, but they're both Protoss here, so let's see who it favors more.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who does it favor more?
Oh, let's see if Boa can push this series. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun here, man. I hope it doesn't end here. I mean, as much as I love Just, as much as I do want Just to win and kind of succeed, I'm rooting for Boa because I want this to go on.
I would love to see it go to that ace match on Sylphid. That'd be such a good match, actually. But we're gonna see if we even get that far, because in the meantime we have Boa versus Just Too Juicy.
Yeah,
good cards. Okay, here we go.
All right.
So You go. You do it. You do it.
All right, so at the top left, we have the red Protoss, Just.
And in the top right, looks like a grayish Protoss, I'd say. We got Boa.
Yeah, I was about to say something intelligent, but I've never actually seen a PvP on this map. So like I said, we might see like an 11 Nexus there, but I don't actually know what Boa would like to do here. I mean, he might play a little bit safe. He might just go for a standard opening and just kind of trust his instincts in his game here. But it's really weird because you do have that in-base expansion, so I think that really changes things. Allows you to kind of go for a little bit more greedy openings. If you open like a Reaver type thing, it's really hard to bust that. So we might see a really long macro game from both these players.
That would be exciting. I'd love to see a late game PvP. It's been a while since I saw one. I want to see some arbiters. I want to see some late game tech.
Yeah, I mean, if you can see some, storm drops, if you can get some Dark Archons feeding High Templars, like that would be absolutely insane.
Yeah, so high hopes for this game, and it looks like so far my predictions are wrong.
Nope. All right, both of them are just going to go for a gateway. I mean,
I was hopeful,
I think
but
the 11 Nexus, I don't know. It might be kind of hard to pull off. But I mean, it is a pretty big map. I think the rush distances are pretty large, and both of them are just going to, find each other last. Yeah, so it looks like they'll be both even in seeing whether or not is that a 2-gate from Boa?
Interesting.
So it is.
I think this is actually pretty good for Just here. It depends if he's able to scout it, I guess, because he has that high ground advantage, but at the same time, I mean, Quick Zealots don't really care about a high ground advantage.
Yeah, so
there's going to be a time period where Just is in a little bit of trouble here. But we'll see. He goes straight away for the Cybercore, it looks like. Wonder if he's going to get a Zealot first.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough for Just because he's going to scout this really, really late. And, it's really nice if you can scout the double gateways a little bit earlier so that you could, maybe put down a second gateway, or you can start kiting a little bit earlier with the Dragoon. So it's going to be rough. I mean, Boa's multitask is really strong. And I think 2-2 gateway, come to think of it, might be a really strong build here. Oh, is he actually just sitting? What the heck? I guess he might be afraid. I've never seen that. Yeah.
Well, he's gonna wait and move out with a couple Zealots. I'm not exactly sure.
Actually, that's probably right. Usually with this push, you want to move out with 3 Zealots because with the first one streaming out, I mean, maybe you can take advantage of a Protoss that skips a Zealot, but most Protoss usually we have a proxy here. Holy moly! If we.
All right, let's see what it is. I hope it's DTs.
Yeah, but he skipped a Zealot. I think he's. Oh my god, that's gonna be really rough.
You raise a good point. I mean, I could live in fantasy dream world, but these 3 Zealots are about to wake me up, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be so rough because he doesn't even know that there's Zealots coming here because he's not scouting. But he's making some gateways. Okay.
A gateway, interesting.
In the wrong half of the map.
That's really, really not where you want that gateway to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so hard. I mean, Boa's multitasking really strong. He's pulling that Dragoon away so that the Zealots get closer into the main base. And honestly, he could just fire down that pile, and this could be GG immediately.
It's such a disaster. We got 2 gateways coming up on the other side of the map. We got to have a phenomenal probe drill here. Drone drill has enough alliteration, but it is a probe drill at the end of the day. And sniping down probes one by one.
Oh my god.
Oh no,
guys! I promise Justice better than this. This is just a complete build order counter, and it's unfortunate. But we got Zealots. Yeah, I mean,
and it's not like you can even feel bad for him because he's trying to proxy 2 gateways. So I mean, what can you even say?
He's got 2 gateways. Oh,
GG. I like it though. I like where his head was at. He had to go for a big risk there, and I mean, imagine how amazing it would be if he had pulled it off, winning the whole series for his team like that. But Boa on top of things, not gonna let that one slide.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because I respect it because Just went for kind of like this prepared build order, and it would have been a really strong play if Boa opened for just like 1 gate core. But literally the worst possible scenario happened where he got the last scout. He didn't even scout him at all. So 2 gateways in your face. I mean, that's what happens. Skips the Zealot, and unfortunately, I just noticed the description on Ringing Bloom says, "I will just be myself" or something. That's kind of funny. Did you notice that, by the way?
I'm sorry, what was that?
like the map description has like a message. It's like I wonder if the map makers are a little lonely or something. But map maker, if you're out there, man, we love you, dude.
We appreciate those lonely hours, those lonely nights you spent working on Ringing Bloom. We really do appreciate it.
I mean, not really. I don't really like the map, but I mean, I still love you, whoever the map maker is. But I mean,
I tried.
Next time you can make a better map, I think.
I tried to extend the olive branch, but Jaeyun was having none of that.
Nah, yeah, I gotta call it what it is,
Well,
trash map.
Coming up next, we have an exciting match, another Terran match.
Ooh, it's gonna be Whip against Jiraiya, huh?
Yeah, I was trying to create a little tension, but Whip versus Jiraiya. Man, I played a lot of TVZ with Jiraiya. We being on the same team, we've helped each other prepare for matches. We're on the same Nation Wars team also. So we're on the same Nation Wars team. So we've played a lot together. He has really solid ZVT. He usually plays 3 hatch in my experience. Likes to go for 3 hatch lurkers, stuff like that. But he's one of the Zergs that I hate playing against because he'll just take fights with me in the middle of the map with upgraded lurker Ling, and it's a huge pain in the ass. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw. I'd actually be surprised if we didn't see 3 hatch lurker come out from Jiraiya here. I think that's one of the builds he's strongest with.
Yeah, he I know he used to like to play Hydra Lurker a lot. He's really good when it comes to like that macro, but he doesn't like playing kind of like the the normal ZVT. He kind of has his own brand of play. But he's he's very active. He's got some good micro. He's got excellent macro. He's a really strong 2-on-2 player, even though he lost that game. But I don't know. I mean, I think
some would say.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's all right. I mean, maybe he's the best one-on-one player here, but he's a really strong player, very impressive guy. And I think he has a really good shot at being Whip here.
Yeah, definitely. But we've also seen some strong TVZ from Whip. I've casted a couple of his games, as a matter of fact, and he's been impressive. He's kind of got an unorthodox style as well.
Yeah.
Really likes to play some wacky, aggressive styles, so both players have the potential to do something interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how they play off of each other. Both of their styles they could match up interestingly.
Yeah, I've played Whip a few times. I don't know what his style has been lately. I've seen him kind of do some weird kind of like mech-ish openings. I don't know. And I don't know if he still likes to do that. But, if he goes mech, I think Jiraiya might be favored, man. I mean, Jiraiya is really good when it comes to those macro-type games. I think Jiraiya is not one of those guys that likes to play technical, with the defilers and just like the right kind of lurkers. I mean, he can do it for sure, but he likes, grinding out. If you look at his About Me, he calls himself like the meat grinder Zerg on his Twitch. I mean, he loves macro play. So if Whip opens mech here, he could be in some trouble.
Yeah. Definitely agree with that. I like the dark blue Terran. That looks pretty nice, actually. Maybe I'll steal that one of these days.
Oh yeah, we forgot the introductions, but guess at the top right we have the dark blue Terran as Whip.
And the top left, just because I can, I'm going to call it Lavender. The Lavender Zerg.
Yeah, let's see if he plays that man mode type of Zerg here. And Polypoid, Polypoid's a really, really awesome map. Lends itself to a lot of great games. I like it for ZVT because you got that giant ramp, outside the third base, and it allows you to kind of micro your mutas. A lot of really cool things that you can do on those fat ramps. So, how do you like this map for TVC?
I like it as well. I think that there's a lot of advantages for both sides. Like you're saying, those ramps are huge for the mutas, also for lurkers. I mean, there was a long time there was definitely a brief period of time where a lot of Korean pros were just going straight for +1 carapace lurkers after 2-hatch muta, and they would just sit them on that high ground. And even if the Terrans scanned and shot them with tanks, they'd just sit there. They don't even care. You're missing 50% of the shots. We'll let that scan run out. So it's really brutal to deal with those high grounds. But at the same time, mineral-only thirds like that tend to benefit the Terran. They can take them a little more easily, and the minerals are a huge deal for Terran, whereas Zerg is mostly looking for gas expansions.
Yeah, so I mean, it looks like we're not getting a mech opening. I mean, we could see like a delayed mech. I've seen Whip do this, by the way, where he opens rack CC into mech. It's kind of like this weird weird kind of thing, which is super vulnerable to Ling all-ins, but he might actually just go bio here. So that's what it's looking like.
Definitely agree with you on both points there. And he's going for a double scout, so being very thorough, making sure he's not going to die to some 9 pool thing like that. And it looks like I said, Jiraiya is going to go for 3 hatch, delaying his gas for now. Scouting on the main base is Jiraiya, sees that there's no gas, so it's most likely just going to be a regular Rax expand.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a 3 hatch out of Jiraiya here. I mean, it's, just like you said, he loves kind of playing, it's kind of an older style, more of a macro-based play. Oh, well, where's the 3rd hatch?
Yeah, it should be coming down momentarily. Usually it comes down with the gas, but maybe he's going to take a 3rd on site with the scouting drone.
Yeah, he might take a 3rd. So, I mean, I actually like doing this style too. I mean, I think he may have mistimed it a little bit. It's a little far, but I do like this style, going for this kind of man mode. He might go for the Hydra Lurker with his close 3rd because usually, I've seen styles, I've done styles where you take the 3rd at another main, you go for Lurker Hive, but I think we might see a Hydra Lurker game.
Yeah, it could be. If he takes advantages of those high grounds, I mean, it's just absolutely brutal to try and bust up them, even with tanks, like I was saying, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. On the other hand, though, we have to assume that Whip has realized that there's a third base out on the map somewhere. He should know from his scouting that because the gas is so delayed, it's not going to be 2 hatch.
But sometimes, some Terrans, in a high-pressure match, you might say, oh, well, you look at the gas and your brain's on autopilot, and you might not notice that. Sometimes it happens. He's not even scouting it. He doesn't send a second SCV. He's got a bunker out there. Maybe he's worried about Ling. So this might completely blindside Whip here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned, actually. He's also going for 2 Rax Academy, which, I mean, you can go against 3 hatch, but it tends to imply to me at least, that Whip does think it's 2 hatch, because that is the answer to 2 hatch for most players. So, I mean, like I said, you can play 2 Rax against 3 hatch just fine. It's not a bad build by any means, but it would indicate to me that he might think it's 2 hatch. So that could lead to some serious consequences later on. If he's too aggressive, perhaps he could just die to, I mean, straight up, he could just die to Lings, because there's so much unaccounted for larva that he's not prepared for.
Yeah, this is going to be really rough. I mean, he's got that fast 3rd base. I don't see a Hydra then. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're going for the man mode. He's doing it. It's going to be really fun to watch. And he's really good with this style. So, he's going to pick off an SCV. Oh, Whip's sleeping! Whip's sleeping, dude! Wake up! Oh my goodness!
Caught Whip slipping.
Yeah, he's just snoozing there. He didn't even move his Marines. He probably could have gotten another one, but maybe he's feeling the nerves. I mean, Jiraiya with some great pickoffs, and he's, Whip doesn't even know there's a 3rd base out there. I mean, this is going to be really nasty.
Yeah, I'm not liking this position for Whip. I mean, he has his medics out, but he's still trapped in his base. He can't get any sort of map positioning. Now that he has Fire Blast, he's going to feel confident to move out. But, I mean... Yeah,
we're going to need some sunken colonies ASAP.
Yeah,
because he's moving out. Oh my god, we're gonna need 3 sunken colonies, or he's gonna get busted.
Oh, we're only doing
really
2.
Nasty.
Okay, well, he might go 2 and just go only Ling from here, and I think that might be enough. But I mean, the 2 Fire Bats are actually gonna make this such a tricky hold for Jiraiya.
Yeah, Whip is going for the kill here. He's trying to buy some time. I think the 2 sunken colonies might.
Oh, he's stimming in. He doesn't care. He's stimming in. He's gonna take a great turn against those. Oh, but he actually gets a Marine, and he's pulling drones off the line.
Oh, I think this might be the end of the game here.
Okay, Sunks pop out. Another sting has to come out, so the Marines are weak. The Lings are going down. They're going down.
Oh my god, Jiraiya loses to the Academy push. And he might still be in it. I don't know. Maybe he's got some reinforcements. We got 2 Fire Bats on the way.
There's no way he can hold now. That's so unfortunate. He just needed a second more and he would have held that.
Yeah, I mean... Really great, solid timing from Whip. Very confident play. Didn't, stutter, and he knows he's got this, and he knows he's going to close it out for his team. I mean, Jiraiya's going to try to hold it on a sunken with a ramp, but I don't think it's enough.
Oh, that's so heartbreaking, man.
Yeah, I really was excited for that. That man mode. Yeah. I don't even know what to call
it. Looks like he's always so close to taking out this army, but it's not quite enough, and now he's losing overlords. I mean, it really just couldn't get any worse.
Yeah, his team's life is on the line here, and
he got sunk into the main. He kills the Fire Bat, so now he can take it out with the
I guess. I mean, guess he's alive. Yeah, I guess.
Damn it, he's done though. Is the thing. I mean, he's gonna have to find some miracle come back into this game. We have 4 Marines out on the map now. If Whip is just on top of things, he's gonna send it right to that mid left base. Kind of the choice for. Oh man, this is so brutal.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we're playing on. I thought it was over, but I guess I called it too early. We do have a small Marine group, but there is a sunken colony there, so I think he actually made but he's actually just gonna get a couple here. He's gonna be all right, but at the same time, this is a rough spot. I mean, Whip's got tanks and vessels on the way, so he could just be very patient. Just sit here, gather 24 Marines, vessel, tank, and just end it because there's no hive, there's no economy, there's no.
I think that's definitely the best move. Actually, is wait for vessel. There's no ticking clock at all. You can sit in your base as long as you want with tanks. If there's no defilers coming your way, and we know for a fact there is not. Queen's Nest not even started yet. Not even thinking about getting started yet. So Whip has all the time in the world to do whatever he wants. I mean, he could go. What? You want to go switch into mech? Sure. You got 5 minutes, bro. You can switch into mech.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You can go take 2 more bases right now. I mean, the world is truly Whip's oyster. We'll see what kind of player he is with the decisions he makes next. Because I mean, the choice is his.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly, he shouldn't even move out because the only out that I see Jiraiya has is like maybe a massive stop lurker, decimating his entire army. But, Whip is being really smart. He's being patient. He's staying in front of his base. He knows exactly where he is. So there's no need to be hasty, no need to force anything. Just play with your lead, put down those barracks, and just move on and just win the game in about a minute.
Yeah, if he can cope with waiting a minute or two, he's definitely going to secure himself a victory for his team. Maybe even close out the whole series. I do like this from Jiraiya, stacking a couple lurkers on top of each other. I mean, he's got to be funny here to catch. Well, kind of stacked. Oh man, look at how much army there is for Whip. This is so brutal, man.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, this isn't the time to really, I mean, as much as Jiraiya's got a lot of great defenses at both bases, I mean, he's got to gather both armies, and he's got to be making units, man. He can't be making drones because, I mean, he's got to get some miracle lurker spines, but I mean, that's a lot of army. He's gonna have 3 tanks, 1 vessel, probably even a dropship follow-up against. Oh, he's making another bunker. Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess he's worried about the counterattack.
Yeah. I mean, at this point. He knows his lead is so immense that he can afford to account for every single possibility. I wouldn't even be surprised to see a bunker in the main base to protect against lurker drops. I mean, that's how far he could go with making sure that he crosses every T and dots every I, but we're just waiting for the Hanbang timing. The 3 tank, 1 vessel, almost. 3 vessel would be pretty sick, but this is probably going to spell doom for Jiraiya. I mean, just lurkers, he's going to have to get some sort of miracle engagement here.
Yeah, this is gonna be, and he's just sending, drones. But yeah, I can't see it. We don't have a hive. We don't have an angle. We don't have anything.
Backing up for now. Already losing a lurker for free. Tank sieging up in range of the sunken and in range of the lurker eggs. Oh man, the shelling begins.
This is why. Yeah, this is why. Change races to Protoss, man. I don't like this happening. This is too brutal. He's got no answer for that vessel that's just chilling out there because we don't even have a spire, and he's gonna slow push in, and it's gonna be this is gonna be the end for Jiraiya.
Yeah, he's getting ready with a flank on the southern side with some lurkers. We'll see. Oh no, it just goes down.
Oh my god, that
the going his way. Flip is playing this so well. I really have to hand it. He's been playing this super well.
Yeah, really solid guy, playing really smart, playing very safe as well. And I love how he's not even stimming. I mean, he can stim in and win, but I love that he. Oh, there he is.
He's been very patient.
He's waiting. Oh, the perfect. Oh, he somehow got the vessel, but perfect split, and that's going to be a GG for Jiraiya.
And with that, we have concluded the season of Turf Wars, and we have a winner.
Yeah, it's going to be
the Cabal. Congratulations. Yeah. We didn't get to go to the Ace Match, unfortunately, but we saw some. I mean, some of those were some great games, I gotta say. that last one especially was pretty sick with some of those engagements there.
Yeah, especially the one with Unko and Crane, man. That was
Yeah,
just
Unco Crane was
amazing.
a highlight. That game was incredible back and forth.
Yeah.
We got to see some insane play from Dragon and Crossy. They both executed at such a high level. The 2v2, you got to see the casters completely flounder. So there's something for everybody.
Exactly. You got some action even outside of the game, too. So really great games. I mean, this was such a fun night. I mean, man, I was hoping for that ace match, but, Stryker's team is really solid and really deep. And I think we're even going to have a winner's interview, right?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to go. I think we're just going to have an assortment of players from the Cabal hop in here, just have a chance to gloat, celebrate. What's up, Just? How you doing, man? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty fucking good, man. I'm fucking rich now, dude. I'm fucking rich, baby.
Woo! You get smacked, but you still get paid out, so it doesn't matter.
Dude, it doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah, so congratulations.
Win, lose game, get paid, dude. That's my fucking lifestyle, dude. I just walk around in this shit, dude. It just happens to me, man.
That's paychecks off other players' work. Speaking of, Stryker, how are you feeling, dude?
Feeling good, man.
Yeah,
I lost my game and I was feeling kind of down, but pulled it out in the 2-on-2 and the rest of the team showed up, so it was good.
Yeah, that was actually a sick game versus Dragon. I guess it's kind of rude to say, but he was playing such a high level there.
Yeah, he played really well, really good timings. I needed to have changed my build to account for his early stuff, but I didn't.
Yeah, but the benefit of team games is it doesn't matter sometimes because you got players like Unco carrying you. Congratulations on that.
That was sick.
Yeah, that was actually
definitely behind for like the first 10 minutes.
Dude, that TVP was insane. It was a real back and forth one. Uncle, you got your mic on, buddy? Oh, well, he's in here to witness the glory regardless. Let's see if we can get a couple more players in here. If we can get the full lineup.
We got to get the hero of the hour whip in here, man.
Yeah, I mean, we got to get
He has no microphone, apparently.
Bummer.
It's all right.
What about Crossy? Can we get him in here?
Oh, there we go.
Wait, Whip, does he have a mic? Whip, are you here?
Yeah, hello.
Yo, Whip, congratulations, man. How does it feel?
Man.
How does it feel to close it out for your team?
It feels great. It feels great. Yeah.
Did you?
I was kind of worried.
Yeah, it was looking a little scary. Did you know that he had a third hatch out on the map when you scouted him early like that?
Yeah, his lair was late, and I kind of knew that he was making lanes to attack me, so I built bunker earlier on.
Yeah.
And went for a fast bust, I guess.
Yeah, you went for 2 racks academy instead of a lot of players when they see 3 hatch like that, they like to go for that quick eBay timing, but you prefer instead to go aggressive with the 2 racks academy. Is that usually what your plan is in those scenarios?
No, I recently picked it up because I think the meta is going back to 2 hatcheries.
Uh-huh.
And I think 3 tank timing is pretty strong against them.
Yeah, I've actually been seeing a lot of pro gamers going back to kind of an old school 3 tank 1 vessel timing. Even if they're able to get the filers out on time, just having those tanks is such a good utility.
Yeah, but it was good.
Yeah. And, man, what a crazy TVP that we had from Unco. I still can't get over that game. Oh, do we have the man of the hour? We have Crossy in here. Hold on, let me unmute you. Crossy, congratulations, man. How do you feel?
Did you win?
Yeah, dude, you guys won.
Yeah, nice. I feel great about winning.
Crossy doesn't even know we fucking won, dude.
He won his game. He went to bed. He's done. He did his work.
Crossy, you're $150 richer, man. Show me some energy.
Yeah, we need some high energy.
Yeah, I mean, Crossy set the tone, man. He winning the first match. It was a good start, and of course, I lost mine, but it's a good start.
We don't talk about the people that lost, right? We don't worry about
that's
it.
true, Just.
We're not even gonna bring us up.
Yeah. Crossy absolutely dismantled Tim, I gotta say, on Eclipse there. Your Hydra micro was bonkers, sniping Templars left and right. How do you do it, man?
Actually, I was really confident after my lane went into his face, and then I damaged him a lot. But after that, I kind of threw some of the Hydras in the mid game.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, "Oh my god, I might lose the game." And then later, I somehow found out his server is not coming out. So I think options here, so I just went more aggressive there because I thought his observation was there, and I thought that worked well. So I was kind of lucky.
Yeah, you were able to clutch it out in the end there. It sounds like your mic is dying a little bit, but that's kind of a common theme for tonight, so that's all right. All right, well, we have the whole Cabal together here. I guess I got to say congratulations one more time to you guys. All of you guys are about $150 richer due to the generous North American community showing such great support for this tournament. I mean, how do you guys feel about the tournament as a whole? It was kind of a short and sweet event, but I feel like it went really smoothly.
Something for SFCA who wasn't here. He's a really good 2v2 partner, and like he played like we've practiced a lot, and he was definitely like the brains behind the whole strategies, and he's just really good.
I know next to nothing about 2v2, but the DT play that he went for was so effective actually, and let you guys get
kind of like does all the right things on his own. I don't even have to like do anything really. I just had to survive and
and even not even have to sometimes. So yeah, so congratulations, you guys. And how do you guys feel about the event as a whole? It seemed like it went pretty smoothly on our end.
The event was super cool. Big thanks to Strom for hosting it and everything.
Yeah,
I had a blast playing in it. So
yeah, I hope we get to do more of these types of things. Team leagues are super fun, and trying to get the North American community to get together a little more, practice harder together. Got to kick some European ass because we're kind of sick of getting dominated in the 1v1 leagues when really we know we're the superior region. We just don't have the results to back it up. So I'm glad that we're getting together more, practicing more inner NA practice is always a good thing. So yeah, I'm really happy about things.
Yeah, it was a great event. Thanks for the organization, and really good event. I think all the scheduling and everything was good, and it was a lot of fun.
Definitely. Any shout outs you guys want to give while you have the chance? We got a lot of you guys, but
I wanted to say this, but get turfed.
Get turfed.
All right, he said it. All right, you can wrap it up.
Nope.
I'm gonna have a nice steak dinner tonight.
Oh,
$50 rich.
Crossy Bond out of control.
Gallery was so much fun.
Live it up, dude. Live it up, Crossy.
Yeah.